Catch me if you can. La Lisa, la Lisa, la Lisa, la Lisa, la Lisa. Say la Lisa, love me, la Lisa, love me. Call me la Lisa, love me, la Lisa, love me. Oh, I tryna add it to my touch, the lightest in the room. To say la Lisa, love me, la Lisa, love me. Call me la Lisa.
Yeah, that's what you recognise. You don't recognise someone's skeleton and their brain.
Unless it's the Elephant Man. But then again, with the skin on, I couldn't tell you how old he was. There's something about his head and everything that he's ageless. He could buy a packet of fags and be underage. He could get on a bus and say he's an OAP. I have not got a clue how old the Elephant Man was. There's no distinguishing things for his age, is there? But with most people, it's the skin that does it. Strip all that away, and they were all stood upright as well. They weren't sort of unched.
Right.
Unched.
They'd been straightened up.
Not unched then. Is that the German bloke? Unched.
But what did I learn? That's what you're asking me.
Yeah, well, could I answer that? Sure.
Fuck all, probably.
Oh, there we are. The skin, of course, you are right in saying, is an extraordinary thing. I mean, it is almost unlike any man-made item. It's one of the most waterproof things, obviously, one of the most durable, one of the strongest and yet stretchiest. I mean, it is a remarkable achievement.
Yeah.
1 square inch of skin, right, has 4 yards of nerve fibres.
In what? In 1 inch?
In 1 inch, square inch of skin. It's got 1,300 nerve cells and 100 sweat glands in a square inch of skin, and 3 million cells, right, and 3 yards of blood vessels. Those tiny little things, and they make up 3 yards worth.
But I understand you need the blood bit, but the nerves, I'd shorten the nerves.
What do you mean?
I wouldn't have as many nerves. I think if I could change it...
Well, it depends, because there are different amounts per square inch. You've got less on the back of your hand than on the finger tips, obviously, and I think the most nerve endings are near your spine. Tip of the penis. Well, that's probably going to be quite sensitive.
Unnecessary, isn't it?
In that
Unnecessary?
It is, really.
Why is it unnecessary?
Because I'd say what you want... I think you need them in your fingers because you're picking up hot stuff.
Sure.
I've never put my knob somewhere that I thought I didn't feel that.
There's a quote. There's a quote.
If you're sticking it somewhere bad, well, you shouldn't be, so it's your own fault, isn't it? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't think it's just for your penis to be able to identify hot stuff.
No.
I think it's for other reasons why it's super sensitive.
It's not. Is that hob hot enough for your suit?
Well, hang on, let me just check
I've got a thermometer here. We don't need a thermometer. Well, no. The thermometer's not accurate. Well, it is. It's a mercury thermometer. Well, you need some. I don't want a reading. I want a feeling.
No, you don't need it in that bit.
Well, the penis is sensitive, I assume.
Because of the sexual stimulation?
Yes, because you need
Yeah,
to...
you don't need the nerves for that.
Well, you do, yeah, because you need... Well, something needs to stimulate it for it to know, to send a thing to your brain, and you go, all right, we're mating here, we need to get half our genetic material to that egg. I lost him, didn't I?
Yeah.
When did I lose him, though?
When you tried to explain how babies are born.
Carl, every human being spent about half an hour as a single cell.
Hey, how's it going, man?
I heard about that.
What do you mean, you've heard about that?
I remember reading it. I read
Awesome.
it. I think I went to the
Yeah,
Science
good.
Museum. And it was
Right.
on the wall.
How's your
I just
playthrough
thought,
going,
oh,
man?
I would have hated that.
What, being a single cell?
For half an hour.
But then when was there ever a chance of a single cell knowing anything?
Yeah, good. I'm loving it.
Yeah, if you look at it like
Awesome.
that, it's not a problem.
Hell yeah.
It never was a problem.
Yeah, same.
Why are they telling us then?
Oh, for God's sake!
This is a guide to. We're trying to educate. I mean, you know, this is for people to, you know, it's just an interesting discussion, isn't it? So we are going to come up with some facts. There are going to be some things that we don't know the answer to. There's going to be many things you don't know the answer to. Sometimes you're right. Sometimes you're wrong. Sometimes we learn something. Sometimes we don't. It's just adding to the debate, really. I just thought it was quite an interesting
What do you
fact.
think when you read that? What goes on
How
in
did
your
your
head?
I think it's incredible.
how's your like
that's
new
how it
role been
starts.
going?
That you
One
can go
cell,
from there
but
to
then it divides and
a
Got a
divides
bit
again.
more of
cognizant
the
being.
Yeah.
team landscape,
That
I guess.
every cell knows what it's got to do. It's remarkable. It's remarkable.
Right, it's only
DNA.
Tuesday, I guess.
Stunning.
Yeah, I'm
Go
surprised
spot
there's
us.
not more weird stuff knocking around. I've always said that.
But what's weird?
Just something that doesn't look like the rest of us.
Nothing looks like the rest
Yeah,
of
it
us.
seems right,
There's
I haven't
nothing-
actually done it
What's
yet.
No,
weirder than
people-wise, I mean,
Excellent.
how
It
many
couldn't have
people in the
gone.
world?
Couldn't have
6
gone
billion.
better
6
then.
billion.
6 billion people. Yeah, you don't walk down the street, and I'd expect every fifth person to be like, "What is that? Look at his head. He's got 3 legs.
Why?
Why is the arm on the back of his head?
What do you
Why
mean
isn't there
defects?
more defects in it?
Well, there has been.
Not
Don't
that
forget.
many. Do you know like that Total
Why
Recall?
aren't there more defects in it?
Like that. Where everyone's a little bit weirder. I mean, you know, there's only so much you can do. I mean, even in that film, there was a woman with 3 tits. There's only, you know, I'm not talking about having like a shoe for a head. I'm just talking about the weirdness.
He's amazing, isn't he?
I just mean,
You'd like to see more. You'd like to see more three-titted women. Is what you're saying?
I mean, it doesn't matter. Mix it up. At least then it's a bit more of a surprise. What you're going to get.
One giant boob.
And it's a shame because it does make the world more interesting.
But what's more interesting than the world?
You
Than
see,
the
you're
natural
endlessly bored.
diversity?
You're endlessly bored by the world as it is. We're amazed. We sit here amazed by these facts, by thinking about the cosmos. You're endlessly bored by
Just
it.
a
Always
discussion.
looking for something new and weird and alien.
Do you know they've estimated there might be about 5 million species of animal, right? But they think there might be another 20 million all insects. So they've stuck it
God damn it.
about 1, but they wouldn't be surprised if there's another 20 million species of insect.
I wouldn't.
Right, okay.
Oh, thanks very much.
No, because you start off with the big stuff, don't you? If someone comes along, I mean, I'm still surprised when they say things like we found a new duck.
Absolutely doing my head.
And I think, well, that's not hard to find. If you're talking about bacteria, I'd go, well done. Where did you find it?
No, that's the other way round. A new elephant? Wow, really?
No.
Where was that hiding?
No, I'd be
A new-
annoyed that someone's not found it. If it's not my job to find new stuff,
Right,
so it's not my problem.
Right.
But if someone's on the payroll
right.
and they're out there trying to find new species,
There's
and they
no-
go,
there's no
we
one on the
found a new
payroll."
llama, I'd go,
Right.
well, where's it? Why have you missed this?
Right.
Annoyed.
Yeah.
Not wow. There's a new llama.
No, but it's harder to find. Attenborough, he's been out doing his job for years, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He was excited that he found a small frog. He found a frog, he stuck it on his finger. He said, I've been looking for that for ages. And you could see
He check under the microwave, down the back of the couch.
he was delighted.
Yes.
He was chuffed. I was chuffed for him.
was
He'd been looking for it for ages.
Right.
Now, the thing is, respect due to him there. His eyes aren't as good as they used to be.
Right.
He found a small
He's
frog.
been looking for it. He kept looking. I'd have given up if I was him. But he kept looking. He
His
found
eyes
it. There
aren't
it was, a
good as
little
they
frog
used
on
to
the end of
be.
his finger.
Right.
It wasn't on his finger all along, was it?
I've got more respect for him finding that,
Yeah.
something so small, than someone else whose job it is to also be rooting around for new stuff, coming round the corner with an elephant, saying, look what I've got. I've been looking for this.
Yeah, but that's not
They
what
haven't been
happens.
looking hard enough.
Then no one's looking for an elephant and has failed to find it.
They don't
You're
know what they're looking
annoyed
for.
with these people
Yeah.
who are on the payroll
Yeah.
looking for elephants
By
and failed to find
definition,
them.
they're not looking for new species because they don't know they exist. It's a surprise. No one goes out and goes, what are you looking for today? I don't know. Say a letter. D? Duck then. Let's look for a new duck. Where are you going to look? Pond. Right.
I know, but sometimes it's the slightest thing. I mean, we've done
Yes,
a lot
it
of
is.
insects.
Yes, it is,
But they
yeah.
go, I found a spider with like an orange leg, or a fish that swims upside down. It's like, put it the right way up. I mean, it's not worth noting. I'd say it's got to be a dramatic difference.
Right. Right,
You're
how's
such a
dramatic?
bag of contradictions. You'd be annoyed with someone who found a new elephant. You'd think that was a sizable discovery, but no, that would piss you off because they should have found it before. They find a fish just swimming around upside down, put it out the right way.
How,
Isn't
how
that-
different does the elephant need to be? It comes around the corner, you go, that's just like another elephant. How does it have to be different, right? How, what to you has to be different?
To the point that I don't know it's an elephant. That I go, like our hippos related
What
to
would
a
it look
whale.
like then? Well, we're all related, we're all related.
No, we're not though.
Yes,
are
we
That's
are,
a
yeah.
daft thing to say that.
No, we are all
we're not
related,
all
it's just a
related.
matter of degrees. You understand what it means to be related to your brother, don't you?
Yeah.
So you understand what it means to be related to your cousin.
Yeah, it starts getting a little bit...
Really? Already at cousin? Already
yeah,
at cousin?
There's cousins I don't talk to. I haven't seen cousins.
Right, well, so let's forget Chimp then.
My dad said over Christmas that Who Do You Think You Are was on. He said, oh, why don't you do that? I said, because it's looking up dead people. There's cousins who I don't even talk to.
Yeah, true.
I've no idea.
It
who
annoys when they cry about their great-great-grandmother.
They didn't even know.
They're like, yeah.
Don't even know them. Don't even know them. And all it's going to do is dig up problems, innit? You're going to find someone out who did something wrong and you're going to get the blame for it. I don't want to know. If my cousin was Einstein, very
He's
nice.
such a legend.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's
If
going to
your
add
cousin
extra
was
pressure.
Einstein, then you really are an underachiever.
No, but do you know what? If he was, I'd know about it.
I don't reckon you would know about it.
I reckon
don't
I would.
reckon your family would be that impressed with Einstein.
They would have stayed in touch.
He
would
was
they?
always the weird one with the scruffy hair and his tongue out.
Yeah.
No, I reckon the stuff we know
Oh
is
god
enough now.
damn it! I dragged
And all
my
we
ass
tend
with
to
this.
do is find problems.
All the mysteries still in the world. The
What a prick.
mind-body problem.
What a prick.
Fuck.
How to save the world.
Yeah, but we're not, are we?
God damn
We know
it!
it's dying. We don't know how to fix it.
Not yet, we don't.
Turn your lights off.
But then we
You
didn't.
turn yours off.
I was about to say, give me my deposit. I'll
Get
take
sick
it
of
back
it.
off you.
Leaflets through the door all the time. Turn your eating off.
Very rude.
Turn the lights off. Living like a mole.
I love his little internal dialogues out loud. They're fantastic. The little discussions he has with himself. Oh, I can't wait till he's old. That's going to be amazing. Us three, when we're about 75, 80, he's fucking moaning. Oh, we're in a little home together. I just fucking... Fucking hell! Oh God! Do you remember when you were 73? No, do I fuck?
Tell us the Tic Tac anecdote again.
Oh, what a fucking useless bunch of cunts! Well, that's about it for the Ricky Gervais Guide to the Human Body. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. I know Carl didn't. Next one, the final one in this series, is the Ricky Gervais Guide to the Earth. Carl, are we going to do any more guides, or...?
I think we've covered the main stuff you need to know.
Yeah? It was good doing the guides, though.
I
I like the attempt of, learning.
I remember our early ambition was to actually be educational as well as hopefully entertaining, and I feel perhaps at times we've perhaps slightly
I didn't think you were allowed to join them
listeners in
together. I
terms of
thought
what
you'd
they're
crack the
learning.
shits.
Well, they're not learning anything, because also, even as, compared to Carl,
yes,
we
that
are
will make
educated,
it a
but
hell
we're
of a lot
guessing a lot
easier.
of the stuff, and he flummoxes us, sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun trying to be
I thought you'd get
pompous
pissed
and
off.
professorial enough just to fight Carl's ignorance.
I think we've learned more new words from Carl than we've learned anything else.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
been a lot of made-up words, perhaps more than ever before. And also some of the most abstract conversations I think we've ever had. I mean, Carl's, as he gets older, becomes more and more
He,
arrogant and confident.
He said a new one to me the other day. There was a problem downloading one of the guides on iTunes, and he said they've added to the fuckerage. Which is good.
Yeah.
So, till the next time, it's goodbye from me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
One
Goodbye.
more time. I want to
And
get
Carl
this reward,
Pilkington.
god damn it. It might
Testing,
be an outfit
testing.
or something.
This is almost the environment more than
It is
the
really,
Earth,
isn't it?
Have we
Yeah.
already publicised it as the Earth?
Well, yeah, but it doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, but that's fine. The Earth.
Why is
We
it called
talked-
the Earth?
Well, no, we talked about what? I said, what do you mean? Why is it called the Earth?
You mean why is the Earth called the Earth?
It's
Where's
just
Mars
something
called
I never
Mars?
say. I never say Earth. I always say world.
Well, it depends. It's not called the world, is it? Because a world is relative. Mars is a world. It's the world because it's our world, but there are many worlds, aren't there? You could say the world of something. You couldn't say the Earth of something. The Earth is the name of the planet.
But when do we need that?
What?
When do we need to say the Earth?
When we're referring to the Earth.
When does that ever happen?
Well, for instance,
What do you
right
mean?
now, when we're talking about the Earth, being that this is the name of
If
this.
I
It's
was in a-
to distinguish it from other planets.
If I was in... I know, but when's that ever going to be a problem for me?
What? It's not all about you.
If I was in a rocket,
Yeah, right, here we go.
I'm sat at the front. I'm looking...
He's got a good seat, yeah.
The pilot goes, Carl, come up here, mate.
And I look in the mirror and I see...
Mirror. Mirror in the rocket. Mirror, check, reverse, indicate. Brilliant.
And I see the world, I'd say, look, oh, doesn't the world look magnificent?
You go, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I'd say it. I wouldn't say Earth. I wouldn't dream of using the word Earth.
But then you're in a you could say, well, this is our world now for the next year. This is our world. This spaceship.
Say no, not really.
It
I'll always
is,
be
mate.
looking back over there. I'm looking at there's our world. There's England. There.
Not anymore, mate. They're moving to Mars.
Where's the
They're going
other
to start a whole new world. Oh, which world are you talking about, Carl? Let's call it the Earth and Mars, like we always have, you dopey cunt. That's the name of this planet
But
we're on.
that's what I'm saying, though. It's not our problem. We're never going to leave it. So it's our world. So leave it as world. It's a bit of information. You don't write so-and-so road, London, England, Earth. You don't need it.
What other
I don't know
words are
where
you
the
annoyed
last
by?
one went.
Other words are out there you're thinking, why is that there? Because we do not need it.
It's one of them where I come across something. They're not always in my head. It's just... trying to think of something that I've seen recently that's a word.
I'll say some
mean-
words, Carl. You tell me whether you like them or not. Okay? Yeah? Route.
What sort of route are we talking about?
Good question. What about
Try again.
a pre-planned journey?
No,
As in-
I don't need it. You just go, which way are you going? I thought you meant beetroot. That's
root
all right.
vegetable.
What, you don't mind beetroot?
Depends what I'm having.
He doesn't mean the food, he means you don't mind the word existing. This is because you have such a limited vocabulary that it annoys you and intimidates you that people say it. Bunch of people on there whinging and phoning and calling and making me annoyed anyway. Get to Los Angeles, City of Angels. Famously, you know, glorious weather all year round. That's why people move there. Pissed down with rain the entire time I was there.
I know you hit the storm. I think I moved out of LA and went to New York the day before it turned horrible, didn't I?
The problem was, I hired a car, right, and I was going to get a relatively cheap car. They persuaded me to upgrade to a Mercedes convertible. I thought, yeah, I'll look good driving around LA, you know, that. Couldn't use the top down, obviously. Every day I'd get in this car, every day it would be pouring with rain. I could hear it splattering on the fabric roof, thinking, I just paid the odds for this. And, you know, every time there'd be a break in this cloud, I would instantly stop and lower this thing and drive around sub-zero temperatures just to have the top down.
I would like to have
Even though
seen
it's still
you,
cloudy and grim.
like, you know, at 85 degrees, just whizzing down the freeway at 90 miles an hour,
Yeah.
but your glasses would fly off.
They
wouldn't
would. This is the problem. That's what I've never really thought. Plus, I lost my sunglasses, so I have to wear a hat in order to keep the sun out of my eyes. And all I had, I thought I need to take it out with me. All I had was a kind of what I like to think is a rather fashionable Justin Timberlake style trilby.
Oh, it's not that
I
hat
don't-
that makes you look like one of Bill and Ben.
See, I think it makes me look like a like Tom Waits or a sort of 1960s news reporter.
Oh, right.
But you,
I thought Bill and Ben.
you
I
thought
thought Bill and Ben, the flower pot men.
Problem with it is when I bought it, again, I was suckered into it. A bloke sold it to me, told me he was a street vendor, and he told me I looked amazing in it. I'll be honest. I gave him the cash straight away.
Did you have a game of Find the Lady with him as well?
I'm beginning to wonder if I was part of his sales patter, and he wasn't just a lovely fellow who's trying to help me out. But yeah, it's not quite big enough, so instead of sort of pulling in tight down by the ears, it sort of sits pork pie-esque on top of my head.
Right.
And it is in danger of flying off. It did fly off into the back seat when I was driving. Luckily, I could stop and pop it back on again. But yeah,
That's great.
It didn't fly off, and you know, you don't want that as you're cruising past a couple of sort of Playboy bunny types in an open-top Cadillac, and you're just grinning to them, and your hat flies off.
Or it hits a big Al's Angel on a chopper behind you
Of course,
in the
yeah.
face. He's
Yeah,
good.
he's
He
flapping
scratches his
around.
bike. You stop and you
Yeah.
go. It's my hat.
Yeah.
And he goes. You stop.
Exactly. What annoyed me was we went. I
think it's
mates
back.
and we were driving around, and we had a bunch of friends, and they said, "Oh, can you pick up a couple of friends of ours?" So we picked them up, a couple of girls. I thought, "Oh, ding dong, here we are, good-looking girls." They got in the car. Instantly, we're going, "There's not much leg room." I was thinking, for God's sake, it's a bloody Mercedes! I couldn't even impress them with it. It's costing me a fortune. We picked them up, a couple of girls. I thought, "Oh, ding dong, here we are, good-looking girls." They got in.
Fuck. God damn it. It's alright, let's let it run for a bit. Might be okay now. Yeah, I think so. Bit weird. Oh, it's underground. Okay. Well, let's go do this shrine. Alright, let's put this, just gonna get this back.
Again, you go, this is a lovely bit of motor, but no, winch straight away, never met before. First thing they say.
Let's accept, right,
Lovely bit
that
of motor.
at some point, about 13, 14 billion years ago, there was nothing. There was no space for the nothing to be in. There was no darkness, no light, nothing. Okay, literally nothing. Except what is nearly a point in space that contained everything in the known universe, okay? Suddenly, that exploded. And in a matter of minutes, the universe was pretty much as it is now. And in all the debris, in all the dust, things started to cling together. One of which was the Earth.
Can I have Carl pick up the story from there?
Yeah! So, there we are. We've got the Earth. We've got this big
What happened next?
planet.
Can I see
Probably
a really
nothing for
shot?
quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just sort of floated about.
yeah.
But it wasn't causing a problem because it wasn't annoying anyone.
No.
You see, we don't get a chance of that these
Yeah,
days.
missing the
No.
last
You pop
one.
something down, someone says, move that. Dangerous, what is it?
Yeah.
Back then, nothing. So it's hanging around. And if you leave something somewhere, something will sit on it.
Right.
Okay, if you leave something somewhere, something will sit on it. Yeah.
Well, say like a bin bag. I can put a bin bag outside. Bin men don't come until Friday.
Sure.
But I don't want it in the house. It's
Sure.
got
Yeah.
chicken in it.
Yep.
I pop it outside, right?
It's got chicken in it.
It's sat there for a few days now. Just time, like, you know, a day before the bin men are coming,
Yeah.
I pick that up and take it round the front.
Right.
It's got a slug living under it.
Fucking love
Right.
filling
Like
out
one of
your
those little
compendium.
wood lice
Yeah,
things.
get all
Might be
the
there.
Yeah.
Snail.
Yep.
tick off all the boxes.
What's your
It's like
point?
the
You put
Desto,
a
young Earth
like
It's
the Desto
4.5
tick-offs.
billion years ago.
Satisfaction.
It's whizzing round the sun.
Something's going to sit on it.
Yeah, something had to sort of happen, didn't it? I tell you what it's like.
Go on.
In the same way, penicillin
Go on.
happened.
Go on.
It was the bread was sat there. It goes off. Air would have created the greenness.
Oh God! This sounds like the Bible. That is like the Bible. Air created the greenness. That's amazing.
Carry on, because I want to. I'm learning here. I'm learning.
And once you've got something, that leads to otherness.
This is like a monk that sat down. Oh,
We're all
that's
sat cross-legged
amazing.
listening to the wise old man.
I know. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna write a thing of how everything was created.
But hang on, carry on, because
Really?
I'm interested.
Yeah.
So where
What-
are we? So we had greenness, and now we've got
So
something.
the air created the greenness, and then what is it?
Then we have what was
Just
it?
otherness
Other-
from the
otherness.
greenness. Because once you've got
From greenness comes otherness.
once you've got one thing, others come.
Yes.
Yeah, created the greenness, then you got otherness. If you create something, others will come.
Build it and they will
But
come.
it's sort of right.
Yeah, no, I'm not
comedy
saying I
goo.
agree. No, so, but take me on. Continue this story because this is fascinating. So, where are we now then? What if I was to stand on the Earth at this moment in time? What would I see?
Not that much. You wouldn't want to stay.
But there's greenness.
Little patches
Little
of greenness.
patches of greenness. Okay.
Little bit of rubble knocking around.
There's a bit of rubble. There's a bit of rubble. Okay.
We've still got a long way to go. We want to get to life, don't we?
Okay, let's skip forward then, Carl, to life.
So everything was right, okay? It was the right distance from the sun, okay?
Yeah, but even if it wasn't,
wait,
we would still been creative.
No, we wouldn't.
We would.
have.
Something
No, we
would
wouldn't
have done.
No, we wouldn't have.
I want to hear Carl's opinion on this, Rick. I'm not interested in facts. I want to hear Carl's
So
opinion.
are you saying, if the atmosphere, right, around the Earth wasn't about 99% nitrogen oxygen with 1% other gases, we'd have still had something else?
Something would have been around.
What would
I'm
it
not
have been?
saying it might be better than us. It might be worse than us.
What would it look like?
Well, it's hard to say because they say, don't they, that it's the conditions that mould you into the shape and colour.
Sure.
And you know, everything else that makes you the person that you are.
Okay, let's take Pluto. We know that's the farthest away, so it is dark and cold there.
Right.
How do you imagine the creatures that will develop there will
Big
look
eyes
like?
and airy.
But how did they evolve? How did they evolve, though?
Because we
they
evolved.
can't just-
Hang on. You always say animals change to suit the conditions.
I'd have thought if planet's dark, you don't need eyes because things that live underground or at the bottom of the ocean, they don't have eyes or colour because there's no point.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about, are we saying we're living inside Pluto or on the top of it like we do here?
Why would we live inside Pluto? There's
Well, I wouldn't.
It couldn't support life, full stop. But this is one of the most ridiculous conversations we've ever had.
He's seriously
Because
considering whether we
everything
live
is based
inside or
on
outside.
a ridiculously false premise.
No,
Carl,
we're
listen.
saying now
Right.
that the world's overcrowded.
Right,
There's too many people on it.
right.
We're running out of houses. People are living in basements. Now that's only one step away from being molish. We're already going underground because we're running out of space.
Being Polish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, come on. I want to hear his point.
Is that
Here.
like being Amish?
So
Go
what
see
you're
the
saying?
Polish people. They don't acknowledge the crust of the earth.
So you're saying within 5 years there's going to be sort of mole-like people living in basement flats with no eyes?
But hold on though. According to you, the lower they go, the colder and darker they go, the hairier and better eyes they'll have.
Well, it depends now. I was only saying they'd have better eyes if they were on a dark planet where they're outside, so they still have to look out for things that they could trip over. If we're going underground,
walking around.
Their sole concern. That's the whole evolution. Isn't it? Well, we don't want to trip over. I don't want to graze my knees.
You've got knees. They got them on Earth. Coincidence, isn't it? Hub.
what I'm saying is, right, and I've always said this,
Go on.
we are not the same as the first man that nature made.
No, we're not. No.
And that's where we went wrong. And if we didn't interfere, we might have been more suited to the conditions now. Auntie Nora,
Right.
I'm cold. She doesn't want double glazing.
Why not?
Just because she's worried that when people come round and sort of knock on the door, she won't hear them because it's all sort of double glazed.
But they're knocking on the door.
No, but she said that, she didn't like a bell. It makes her jump too much.
Well,
That's how that goes.
how do they get in now?
Well, it's a thin door and thin glass. You hear it. It's not like soundproof like double glazing is.
What? So they have to knock.
They
on
knock
the...
like that on the door, and she can hear that because
But
it's
why
like
are
a
they going
wooden
to double
door.
glaze the door? Is it a glass door?
No, they want to put that PVC door in with
Hang
the
on,
thicker
so she's
glass.
scared by... You don't want a doorbell because that alarms her, but the knocking's fine.
The knocking's fine because you get to know knocks.
Why don't they have a bell that when you press it, it makes that noise?
Because they haven't done that yet.
Well,
Maybe
yeah,
that's an idea.
you could do a sample of a like that. So when they press the doorbell, she hears. That's easy. That's done. You could sort that out for her.
Well, I don't want to start getting dragged into it because
But why don't you tell her? Say, Auntie Nora, have double glazing. Be warm. Be safe.
hear the knock of the bell on the doubly door.
This is it, though, isn't it? She wouldn't be around now if it wasn't for people interfering, coming up with tablets, making weak people live longer.
Right. Are you annoyed at that? You're
I
annoyed.
know he's such a fascist, isn't he? You're a weak person who has been allowed to live.
No, but
Eugenics is where you'd be happier.
Do you recycle and not leave the tap running and turn off lights because you're worried about a child born in 100 years' time?
No.
No.
Because I don't think, at the end of the day, we have to face facts here.
Go on.
The world is
it-
old.
Hold on. Right, okay.
The
Yeah,
world's
it's
old.
Really old.
And it's the same as if you've got a gran who's 70, there's not much you can do for her. You can say you're warm, but at the end of the day, she's still going to be shitting her pants. She's still going to be, forgetting things and all the rest of it. And you might be taking care of her, but at the end of the day, the good days are gone.
Right.
Yeah.
So, in a way, like the world, it's got to a point that it's old, and we can say turn the tap off, turn the lights off, close the windows, stop letting heat out.
The earth, metaphorically, is shitting its pants.
You've only got to look at what's happening, right? It's freezing, isn't it, at the moment out there?
Yeah.
Ice everywhere, snow everywhere. Now, an old person, what happens to them? They're always cold. It's like the earth, isn't it?
Brilliant.
The earth now is freezing.
Yeah.
It feels the cold
It's
more than
winter
ever.
as well. It's also because it's winter, but yeah.
And I think if you try and make it better now, you end up doing more damage.
Does that make any
Doesn't
sense at all?
make any sense.
Doesn't make
Doesn't
sense
make
at all.
Well, just you can sometimes it's too late to make something better. Like I've had old relations who smoke like 50 a day. Doctor said you've got to stop smoking. Stop smoking. 2 weeks later, they're dead. Shouldn't have stopped them smoking.
Yeah,
Their
it's the smoking that's
insides.
keeping them
Good
alive,
advice.
is it?
Well,
Good advice.
their insides are used to all that pollution.
Yeah.
Take the pollution away. What will the world do?
Oh, good. That is a good
It's
point.
interesting. This is scientifically grounded, is it? You've done a lot of the research, read a lot of the information about this. Or is it just a wild harebrained speculation again, backed up with nothing? Is it bullshit? Which of those two is it?
I just, like I said to you, I just think it's a theory. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You're not telling me it's a coincidence that about 3 of my old relations have died because the doctor said stop smoking.
Well, it might be because they're very old, and
Well, yeah, they were old, but it's weird how why stop them smoking? They're old.
sure.
Let them have a fag. Jesus, they've got nothing else in their life. You've took that away, they die. Let them have a fag. And it's the same with this world. It's polluted now. There's rubbish everywhere, isn't there?
You just been in the streets and stuff.
Just, different levels of... I've noticed how rubbish changes depending where you live. Just like when I lived in the centre of town, it was rank. It was like human sort of poo.
Oh, what?
Yeah, honestly,
Where?
down alleys and that.
What, tramps, you mean?
It must be. I don't know, I didn't sort of hang
Or
around
drug
to see who's
addicts,
doing
or-
it. It's just, but very human. It wasn't dog-like.
How do you know it's human?
Just the way it looked.
What do you mean?
Well, you'd walk past it and you go, look at that there, Susan.
Yeah.
Look at that,
Oh,
that
look
looks
at-
human.
Oh, yeah. And what does Suzanne say? Yeah, can we walk somewhere else from now on? This isn't...
Why are you walking up and down this same alley with all
I
this
wanted
shit?
because it's a
to
cut-
show you the human poo.
It's the cut
Were you having
through.
a shit yourself?
It's the cut through that we used to always use, and most of the time it was just like smell of wee, really strong wee,
Yeah.
and you'd see if you could hold your breath for the full thing. But
A little bit of fun, a little bit of romantic fun after a night evening in a restaurant.
I remember when he took her for a walk around the car park.
but now I've moved to like, a posher bit of London. You still get litter, but I saw like a rice cake. That's what I chucked on the floor.
Yeah.
That's like,
It's just hummus tubs and...
yeah. But it's still rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's still rubbish.
Who left this crouton maker lying around?
So, don't you see what I'm saying, though? The way the world... We've changed more than the world has. We can't handle anything now, can we? Look at it, like I say, a bit of snow, a bit of cold, everything comes to a standstill.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't go out, it's dangerous, you'll slip over, people having time off work.
Yeah. What would you do, right? If you run a business, right? Your business could go under, right? It snows a bit. You got 10 employees. You're paying them well, and they go, I can't come in today, can't. It's a bit icy. I'll do it, okay? Right, they're snowed in, right? You're running the business. What are you running?
It's a let's not.
Don't-
I'm
don't
not going to
you-
big myself up. It's just it's a
don't you wanna-
factory.
but
It's
doesn't it make
U-bends.
bells
I
that
make
knock?
no
Doesn't it?
U-bends.
Yeah.
U-bends for
Toilet. So
yeah.
you wanna? Okay, right. Okay. So
plumbing.
plumbing. You pay them all right, don't you?
I'd say most of them are on above average.
So you're there. What time do you get in?
About 8:45.
9:45, waiting for them to come in at 9. Yeah. Okay. Right. It's snowing. It's
Oh,
a bit
this
snow,
bit,
snowy.
yeah,
You got
same.
there. It took you a bit. What? You'd set off early, did you? Or?
Gave myself a bit more time because I had to put the heating on the car.
Okay. Ring, 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 ring.
Hello, KP Plumbing.
Oh, is that Miss Pilberton?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, who's that?
Oh, it's Sheila. Listen.
Sheila, shouldn't you be here by now?
Yeah, no. I was going to set off.
We'll set off now. Stop wasting time. We've got a big order on.
No, I know.
We're all
but
on a bonus here if we get this done. I'll see you in 10 minutes, shall I?
I can't make it.
What?
I can't make it.
Why not?
The car won't start and it's slippy on the drive. I just can't get out.
Get the transport. I'll see you in. I'll give you 20 minutes, all right? Don't
No,
worry about it.
well,
Thanks for calling.
I can't,
I'll see you in a
I'm
bit.
also scared of the ice. I'm scared of the ice. I'm not gonna come in today. It's dangerous.
So what are you going to do?
Well, I'm gonna wait until the ice and snow goes away, and then I'm gonna come
But
in.
they're predicting it's going to be about 2 weeks before they
Yeah,
clear all this.
I can't really travel in this. It's a bit dangerous.
Well, I'll tell you what. You stay at home. I'll replace you because I need someone to come in. We've
What,
got
are
a
you
big
firing
order.
me because I can't get into work with this?
Well, I got
think-
into work, Sheila.
Yeah, I know, but you don't live with me, do you? If you did live with me, then
But
you'd
it
probably
was
see
bad.
how...
It was bad where I was as well. I'm
Do
here.
you?
Do you know how bad it is here? When you come round and have a look how bad it is here,
no,
you drive
I'm
my...
not coming
Tell you
round
what,
here.
you come round and drive my fucking car because I'm snowed in, you fucking calling me a cunt. And I'll tell you, if you fire me, I'll tell you to drive you, you bald head wanker.
Right, you're fired anyway for that.
You're in fucking trouble then.
Right then, see ya.
You
Right,
called
and
me a
she's
cunt.
she's done with. She's weak anyway.
Ring, ring.
KP Plumbing.
Hiya, is that, Miss Pilton?
Yeah,
Amazing.
it's, yeah.
Hi, it's Bobby.
Oh, Bob.
Yeah, bit of trouble. In my area, it's absolutely snowing. It's possible. No one's getting out. I live near Sheila.
Bob,
by the way.
listen, yeah, well, Sheila's just been on. She's saying she
Right.
can't get in either.
She can't. I've just seen her out there trying to dig her car out, and she's hurt her back. She's really tried hard to get to work, but she can't do it because she's not very rich, and her car doesn't work. She hasn't got the right tyres, and there's no public transport. They've cancelled those. Wrong snow of this country. I'm not going to make it in today, son. So I'll see you tomorrow, right, boy?
Well, no, you're saying you'll see me tomorrow,
Yeah.
but you'll probably call up tomorrow with the same thing.
Well, only if
Now-
it's snowing still.
Now
It
listen,
might not-
well, I can't run a business like this, Bob.
Yeah, it's not my fault, is it? Really?
So go round to Sheila's and like slag me off if you want. But I'll tell you
I'm not
what,
slagging
you're
you
not
off,
coming
just-
back here. Fuck off. One chance. Give them one chance.
Well, you didn't even give them one chance.
No, because they've done it before.
Watch out.
Oh, fucking hell!
Just annoys me.
Do you recycle?
I give a lot of stuff to Oxfam.
Well, yeah, that's the sort of recycling, yeah. Hand-me-downs and passing on things. Well, it's probably a better form of recycling, isn't it? You're not destroying anything and remaking it. You're just letting someone else wear a jumper that you don't wear anymore. So
No.
that's yeah.
I don't really do all the. I don't separate stuff. I don't sort of put there's the cans, there's the paper.
You don't
there's
do
the-
that?
You just throw it away, do you? Because
Oh,
that's not
bad.
recycling.
That
And they
annoys
can't
me.
do anything with that.
That annoys me when you're just putting it in landfill, mate. Come on.
Yeah,
But I haven't got
That
all the
annoys
bins.
me,
There
that.
isn't enough room for all the bins.
yeah. We have to do.
You've got
yeah,
a recycle box you stick outside.
Yeah,
What are you on about?
recycle box. Yeah.
I haven't got one.
Well, no, you got to ask for one.
I tried to get rid of a sofa, right? I was getting a new sofa, had the old one. You try and get rid of one of them, it's murder, right? I called up the council, said I want to get rid of it. They said we're not coming round there till Friday. It was like a Monday. I said it's in the way, so I'll put it outside. They said you put it outside, you'll get a fine. I said yeah, but you don't know where I'm going to put it outside.
Yeah.
It's not outside my house.
No.
So they said, well, you do that. We've got your number
What's the
now.
sofa like? It's a beige one. Well, if we see that.
So they said if you want to pay to have it collected, we can come and get it tomorrow. 30 quid. I said I'm not paying for it. It's madness.
Yeah.
So hung up, annoyed. Called my dad up. He said, "Oh, I saw this thing on the telly saying that you can donate your furniture to people who haven't got a sofa. Look it up on the internet." So I looked it up. There's a firm that does it.
Right.
Right, cheeky sods. Called them up. Said I've got this sofa here. I want to donate it to someone who hasn't got a sofa. He said, "Oh, what's it like? Is it in good condition?" "Yeah, it's all right. Yeah." "Well, why are you getting rid of it?" I said, "Because we've moved into a bit of a bigger place, and the sofa looks daft in the corner. It's too small, so I'm getting a bigger one. There's nothing wrong with it. How big is it? How many people does it sit? So it depends how big you are. You can sit 2 people on it, but it's not the comfiest. But it's in good condition.
Why are you
It's none of
getting
your
rid of it?
nonsense like stuff. It was expensive when I bought it." He said, "Right." He He said, is it safe? So I said, what do you mean? He said, is it fag-proof? So I said, I don't smoke. He said, well, go and get the, lift the thing up. He's got me running around looking at my sofa when I'm giving it away. I had to lift it up, it had a picture of a fag on it. I said, yeah, it's got a picture of a fag on it.
Could I just point out for our American listeners, fag is a slang for cigarette. When he says, is it fag-proof, he's not going to open the cushion and someone's go, you, it's me! So, I should explain that straight away.
So anyway, it turned out it was fag-proof. They came and picked it up, took it away. That was that. But look at the hassle. Look at the hassle it takes to get rid of something. And then they say to you, do not be dumping stuff on the street. You know, it's that thing of having to wait for certain days of the week.
I know
you
what you
can't
mean,
always
though.
keep hold of something
They
for a certain
fucking do
day of the
make it
week. 'cause
hard
it's
to get rid
big.
of shit.
A mattress it's one of them things you can't get sort of rid of. Or
I've
you
got
can't
2
stick
car
it
batteries
somewhere
here.
No.
because it's in the
and
way.
I've had
It's
them
a
for
big,
like 6 years.
clumpy bit of furniture, isn't it?
Because you can't throw them away.
It's not a bit of furniture, really, a mattress, but I know what you mean.
And I'm
it's
like,
a
I'm not
new
driving
sideboard.
anywhere with
Yeah,
those.
don't lean on it. It's a bit spongy. What do you keep in it? We can't keep anything in it. It's just full of springs and stuff.
No, but you
It's
know
not
what I
really
mean?
a piece of furniture, to be honest.
Well, it's part
it should be
of-
on a bed, to be honest.
It's part of a furniture bit, isn't it? Did I tell you that time when...
I don't think you could even ever count a mattress as a piece of furniture.
Of course you can.
It's functional. And where do you stop? Is a pillow a piece of furniture? Is a blanket? Oh, a nice bit of furniture you're wearing. They're my trousers. They're furniture if you pop them up against a wall.
Did I tell you that time when we first bought a flat?
Furniture up against the
Bought
wall.
a flat in Manchester, right? And
Yeah.
you know, when you first buy a place, it's expensive, isn't it?
And it's a big bit of furniture, a flat, isn't it?
So, you know, we bought a sofa, we got a table.
Sorry, you don't mean you bought a sofa, you ended up with a table.
No.
No, you bought a sofa and a table.
Table. Now, I didn't know.
Suzanne said you to buy a sofa and you came back with a table.
Now, back then, I wasn't as wise as I am now.
Fucking hell! Oh, what was he? Some snot in a jar.
Can I just apologise to any snot in a jar that's listening and was offended by that comment?
All right. So I ordered a bed. I ordered a bed.
Yeah.
It turned up.
Oh, well done. Fucking hell, that's a
thought-
victory.
I thought-
Nothing went down shit creek this
That's not the
time.
end of the story, is it?
No.
So I thought I'm gonna get this in the bedroom, set it all up. Suzanne comes home from work, the bed's done, she'll be well happy.
Yeah.
So I get it all up there in the lift and what have you. I think it seems like I'm missing something there. Put it together, no mattress.
How would you not notice there was no mattress?
No, just because it's like, you know, I'm thinking, yeah, I've got all the screws, I've got the slats for that at the bottom, there's the post and that. I put it together.
Where's
going,
the
right.
softy, spongy bit of furniture that usually sits on top of the more rigid bit of furniture?
So I called them up and said, there's no mattress with it. He said, no, it's not part of it. I said, what do you mean it's not part of it? A bed isn't a bed without a mattress, it's a climbing frame, right? So they said, you know, you can buy one. We have got them in for that thing. But it was like 400 odd quid. And I
I don't know
paid
why you're
about
telling me this. I
300.
know this. I've walked beds. I understand this is how it
the
works.
mattress isn't a bed. No, the bed is something else.
Yeah, but that's wrong. You cannot use a bed without a mattress, is what I'm saying. So don't sell it without it.
No, but some people replace the bed frame
That's
and
fine.
keep the
That's
old
fine.
mattress or the
That's
other way
fine.
around.
Once you've invested in it and you go, oh, will I buy a new bed or will I just buy a new mattress? Fine.
Well, they're not going to keep selling beds with new mattresses in case you've already got a mattress.
A bed and a mattress without any pillows and blankets is no good. But you don't expect that to come with it.
At least you can sleep on that. You can sleep on a spongy bit. You can chuck a coat over you. You can use a
But they're
cushion
not
off a
thinking
sofa.
some fuckwit might buy it without the mattress. We better include it.
So anyway, so I was like, oh, I didn't think of this.
Think of this.
So I called my dad
I
up.
didn't think. So I called me dad up. Dad, it's your foot quits on again. Alright, son, how's it going? What have you done? Bought a bed without a mattress? Oh.
So I said, listen, I bought that bed. There's no mattress on it. You know, can you get us one? So he said, oh, I'll have a word. I'll call around, right? So he calls back like an hour and a half later. He said, got your
foot
mattress.
wits on again.
Go round to Alf's. Alf is me sort of uncle who isn't an uncle.
Alright.
He's the one who I've told you about who had 2 tellies. We've talked about it on the podcast. He had 2
Oh, yeah.
tellies, one that worked picture-wise, one that worked on the sound.
Perfect.
Slept in a rubber dinghy, right? Now the thing is,
I remember, Alf, yeah.
he said, yeah, I've got a mattress, come and get it. So I go
Why
round
does,
there.
why does he sleep on the fucking mattress if he's got
He
one?
said it's
Why
not
just
like-
sleep in a fucking boat if he's got a mattress?
He's terrified of flooding.
Yeah.
So anyway, I get there and it's in his van.
Right.
Drag the
Sorry, he's
mattress
driving
off.
around with a mattress in the back of a van. What is he, a fucking serial killer?
So I thought Suzanne's going to be happy. Dragged it out of the van, chucked it in the car. Thought she won't even know. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So I dragged that back. Thinking, oh, am I going to make its rush hour by this point? Thinking, oh, she's going to get home. Anyway, get home, drag it into the lift and what have you. Drag it up, drag it into the bedroom, stick
Dead
it on,
prostitute falls off it.
put a sheet on it and that. Suzanne comes in. She goes, "What is that smell?"
Oh.
So I said, "What?" She said, "It's like oil and diesel."
Hold on, why didn't you smell it?
That's what I thought.
I think I just sort of got used to, maybe because I got in the back of the van, smelt that, thought that's in the van, then I got used to that smell.
Yeah.
It's in the back of my car, folded up. I'm concentrating on trying to get this bed made before she gets in.
Sure.
Plus, he used to wear a blindfold instead of sunglasses in those days.
So anyway, she's going, "What is it?" I said, "I've got this off Alf." She said, "We can't have that." She said, "You know, it's a new flat, nice clean flat and everything. We've got this old thing that stinks. Get rid of it." It was murder getting rid of that. And I had to tip it. I
Right.
went round the back of some supermarket and left it there. Because you call
Fly
around...
Illegal fly tipping.
Well, no, because I think it's illegal and bad when you're chucking it out, say, at a bus stop or somewhere on a high street or something, and people are going, "That looks a mess." I chucked it near the bins at a supermarket. I'd gone out of my way. I thought, where is this not going to be offensive?
Why couldn't you just go down the tip?
I think I did try the tip. Oh no, there was a massive queue. There was a massive queue.
Laziness, Rick,
A
sorry.
queue at the tip?
A massive queue. I
Where
remember
was
it
this?
now.
Oh, it was laziness then.
Stretford, that was.
Why
I
is there
remember.
a queue for the tip?
Don't know. I remember. Yeah, I remember driving past it. Thinking, I haven't got time for that. And
So
that's.
don't go on about you couldn't get rid of it. It's because you couldn't be asked to queue up, you lazy bastard. Couldn't get rid
But
of
what
it.
was he thinking? Why was he panicking? One, why did he get a bed without a
one
mattress?
hit, are you
Two,
fucking
why does he
serious?
call his dad to get him out of mattress-related problems? His dad goes, Alf's got one in the back of a dirty old fucking van. Oh, wait, that should be all right.
No, but the thing is, what I'm saying is, when I was in that bed shop and I'm going, "Oh yeah, good bed, good bed," I'm sitting on it, I'm sitting on a mattress with it. At no point did he say, "Now, have you thought about what sort of mattress you want? Have you got orthopaedic problems or whatever?" That didn't come up. He said, "There's your order, there's your address. I'm not a bed man. I go to the bed man to get bed advice." In the same way, same problem here. I've had work done recently with.
Dad, what? How to get rid of a body? Let me call out.
I'd work done recently, right? Bathroom retiled.
Yeah.
Right. It's been a nightmare. Polish fella,
Right.
not a word of English, which makes it hard. I've got him in as a professional to do it. He's sticking grout down the toilet. So then, like, he sort
Now,
of
who's
finishes.
Grout? Is that another mate?
You know, and after they put like the grout in the tiles to finish it off,
Yeah.
anything that's left, he didn't put it in the bin and dispose of it properly. He stuck it down the toilet, and now it's there. The grout's there at the bottom of the toilet.
Is it really?
Yeah, with a screw in it.
Well, you can drain it, can't you? You can turn the water off, get rid of it, drain the water
No,
off.
it won't seem to go around the U-bend.
Well, no,
It's stuck
you'd
there.
get it out there, you'd dry it off, wouldn't you, so there's no water in there.
Well, just stick your hand
Pushed
in.
a lot
Get
of-
your hand in there. Why don't you put a
Well, last time I
marigold
did that, last time you called up when I had my hand down a grid, and you were going, "What are you doing? Get someone out to do that."
Yeah, but it's putting a marigold on and taking the screw out, isn't it?
Oh yeah, the screw's not a problem. I'm not that bothered about that.
Still
I'm worried
down there,
about
though,
the
is it?
grout. Yeah, the screw's there. Yeah.
So you could have taken that out, no problem.
Yeah, but it's half a job, that, isn't it? I want to get rid of the grout first, and I'll get rid of the screw.
Yeah.
But I will. I'm not scared about putting. You called up here. I was up to my shoulder, Steve, in like glunge.
No, what annoys me, Rick, is he makes up his own words.
Well, I'm going to use that for Flanimals, mate.
Yeah,
So
we
you're
can
up
get
to your
out of
arm in glunge.
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and Ricky called, and it was in Kent. The bloke had done the kitchen, been pouring down cement into the grid outside. I'm sort of washing up. Look outside, loads of water all over the place. I mean, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I go out there, all the water's like, because it runs to a grid outside. You know, that sort of system.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not going down, is it?
sure.
There's loads of water there.
Right.
So I call up the main fella who does the kitchens. There's a message there. "Sorry, I'm away in Cyprus."
Right.
So I can't get hold of him.
Right.
So he's ballsed it up, but he's on holiday now. He doesn't want to know. There's all this, like I say, gloopy stuff.
Glunge.
I'm scooping that up with my hand. Up, seriously, it must be close to my shoulder.
Right.
Not my problem really, but all these people, you're saying recycle properly. Don't pour stuff. All these bottles you get now, Domestos, it has like little pictures of dolphins looking unhappy. because people are pouring bleach down a sink or whatever. I've never had that problem. I've never upset a dolphin. But I know if I hadn't sorted that out, it would have caused loads of problems for me and the neighbour, and it would have been my problem. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not that selfish, really, when it comes to the environment of the people around me.
using reliable tradesmen.
And
please.
also,
He
do
was.
start caring about the dolphins, please. Because they're all we've got on this planet. Why don't you care about what's happening?
What are we going to swim with if not the dolphins?
I'm
Yeah.
not going to swim with one. It's never going to happen. Never
Well,
going to happen.
What if you had,
Just look at your
Little
compendium.
div.
Oh, it's pretty
right,
bare.
didn't have long to live.
Pretty bare.
What do you want to do? And he went, swim with dolphins.
So you don't want to do that.
I go, oh, Uncle Carl killed them all with
Compendium.
domestos. They're
Yeah,
all
nothing,
bleached
man.
and
There'd be some
blind.
other animal.
haven't
Anyway, it's not
killed
about
one
the
in yet.
dolphins, it's about the ocean, isn't it, that the dolphins are in. I told you, if dolphins were in the
fuck
Thames, they
all,
wouldn't be that
Stephen.
keen jumping in there saying, oh, let's swim with a dolphin.
Right.
Says you want to swim with a carrier bag in the Caribbean. Oh, yeah, I'd love to. It makes no difference.
I'd love to see
Gonna
that
take
up
a
Nile
few
Edmonds. We've got a little kid here. What's your name? Andrew. And, you want to go swimming? Yeah. What with? Dolphin.
Okay, well we can't. we
there's
can't
no
arrange the
dolphins.
dolphin. They've all died out because of environmental.
Who rewards you for
reasons.
how much you filled
Was that
out?
some of the
Ah,
carrier bag?
true. I want to get the 150 pose,
Well, good, we
man.
can
I
do
want to
that.
get that fucking
can
outfit.
chuck
I
it
need
in
to
the
go on
pond,
back
get
underground.
And you can take him out with you after, and he can be your best friend. Come on, Tesco.
You know that's the problem, don't you? That's why, do you know the carrier bag problem?
Sure.
I was in the supermarket, and it's that point when they turned round and said, "Do you want a carrier bag?" And I said, "Yeah." I'd bought like milk, loaf,
First thing you did today.
and
Oh,
I bought
nice.
some,
Did it take you long?
pikelets.
Some what?
That's a pikelet!
It's like a thin crumpet.
I'm gonna go do it after this.
I think you told me that before. I forgot it.
There's a word I'd get rid of.
Pikelet.
There's a word I would get rid of.
Thin crumpet.
I've got time to say thin crumpet. I do not
Yeah,
need
I
a
didn't think it'd take
specific
that
word.
long. I got
Crumpet.
like
These
30
days,
of
that's
them.
not a crumpet. Why?
Pretty-
Too thin. Call it a
The thing
pikelet.
is,
Fuck off.
I'd spent over a tenner anyway, right?
Right.
I get to the till.
What? Can you make a pikelet by squashing a crumpet thin?
It's tough to. I've tried
What
that.
if you cut one in half?
No, it doesn't. It's not the same.
No?
I've
But
tried
how
squashing a
thick and
crumpet.
dense is a crumpet that you need a thin
Depends
one?
where you go. They've got thicker. I'm not enjoying the thicker crumpet at the moment
Why?
because the outside burns and the inside does nothing. It's like eating dough. I've cut them out of my diet.
Have you?
Yeah,
Well,
I
you
don't have a
go straight to
crumpet.
pikelets now, is
It's
that
also because it's not the 1950s anymore.
Yeah.
So I bought all this stuff. It's over a tenner. She said, "Do you want a carrier bag?" I said, "Of course I do." With all this, you know. She said 5 pence. I said, "You what?" She said 5 pence for a carrier bag. I said, "I come here all the
Good.
time for the pilots."
No, I'm right behind this. Right behind this.
Why?
Charging for carrier bags,
Yeah, it makes you
absolutely.
think, like-
Lazy bastards. I take carrier bags down to the supermarket every time I go down there.
Yeah, we've got a drawer full of
Reuse,
carrier bags.
reuse.
I use
No,
and reuse them.
Steve, can I just put a question in?
Go on.
I do normally. I reuse them.
Okay.
But I didn't know I was on my way home from work that day.
Fine,
Suzanne
but this is the
called
problem. So be it.
And said,
That's
"Come
you bought
come on.
pays with a nose. 5p, otherwise you carry
Yeah,
one with
and
you.
you got another one. And you got
Right, so I said, how's that going to help? How's my 5 pence going to help the environment?
Typical. That is the attitude. That sums it up.
Yeah.
Then it
Well,
sums
at
it
least
up.
it goes
What can I
towards
do?
something else, doesn't it? You're
It's
just
the
making you think.
turtles. It's the turtles. she
Right,
said.
yeah, turtles. That's right. They get caught up in them. Yeah,
No,
terrible.
she said.
They think they're a jellyfish, and they
Yeah.
go, they swallow it, yeah, and then choke.
So I said, right. So it's all right. I can kill a turtle, can I, for 5 pence? You're not that bothered then?
Why do you want to kill a turtle at all?
Because if carrier bags shouldn't be out there,
Yeah.
ban them. But don't say you're killing turtles with free carrier bags. If you want to kill a turtle, 5 pence. Oh, there you go. There's 5 pence. I'll go and kill a turtle. That's what's annoying me.
It's not compulsory, though, is it? But what they're saying is that 5 pence goes towards something, doesn't it?
What?
If they're the...
What's it going towards?
Well, we don't know. Why are they
She
charging
just
5
told me.
pence?
She said we can't give you carrier bags anymore because you're killing turtles.
There's no way. She said, we can't give you... Carl Pilkington, stop killing fucking turtles. 5 pence.
All I'm saying is, if carrier bags are killing turtles, stop making carrier bags. Because the thing is, I can afford 2 carrier bags. 2 turtles are dead since I've been going in there. So what?
flash.
So does it matter? Does it matter that much or not enough, or what? What's the point here?
There could be, for that 5p, you could get a little fella out there, when he sees a turtle going, he goes and sticks his finger down his throat.
Well, what taste are they getting out of a jellyfish anyway?
Wow. Will they...
Carrier bag's better, isn't it?
It gives... Oh, it's pikelet. Someone threw a perfectly good pikelet away. Talking about the Earth, Carl is going around the Earth. Myself and Stephen have set Carl up with a dream job. Not only have we got him a TV programme, on Sky. But he's going to see the world. It came out of Carl not being impressed by anything, and Steve had this idea, and we've talked to the producers, and we're basically sending around seeing the 7 wonders. Okay, the 7 most amazing things on Earth. According to polls and opinion, it's a bit of fun. We know they might not be the most amazing things on Earth, but if Carl finds all 7 of them unimpressive and boring, there is something fundamentally wrong with him, we think.
I've only done Egypt so far.
And what do you think of it? They're probably the greatest and earliest civilisations.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they harp on about that a lot.
Well,
And it's like, that's slowing them down, I think.
Unlike the English, we don't drone on about our great past.
No, but we shouldn't. I don't think we should.
Carl,
Move on.
you go on about doing boxing when you turned up once and got battered by Leroy.
Yeah, because you asked me about it. But
Right.
the thing is, they're constantly... It's like they haven't moved on. Everywhere you go, you see the Sphinx or a pyramid on something. And it builds it up too much. So that when you actually get there, you feel like you've seen it so many times that it doesn't impress you that much. But I like the, you know, it's different. I liked all the, you know, locals and stuff and the way they are and that. And that's good, isn't it?
How are they?
Just a lot of old people.
Yeah?
A lot of old and the young mix more than our lot do. There was only a couple of things that I didn't like, and that was the toilets. Toilets are pretty depressing.
Sure. Why? What's up with them?
Just, it's just a hole in the ground, isn't it?
Right.
And I like the toilet. It's sort of, you know, me time. And to sort of go in one of them, you don't want to hang around. It's sort of, you just want to do the job and get out, but my insides don't work like that. You like to sort of relax a bit. And you can't do that there because you've got flies whizzing around your head. And there was one time when we were out and about and I'd had a bit of hummus or something, because that's, you can't get away from all that. I'd been dipping my bread in it and I suddenly thought, oh, it barely feels funny. Got to find a toilet. Cut through this market. Didn't know one was there, but you sort of smell it. It's like, I'm getting close to one. Yeah, it stinks. Go in, there's like a fella sat there, really old. He must have been about 93, about 2 teeth. Sat there with a rag, and you have to pay him to use the toilet.
What's the rag for? He doesn't wipe your ass for you.
I don't know. But
Well, did he or
the
didn't he?
toilet's never been cleaned by the looks of it. I had to give him like 5 Egyptian pounds, whatever that is. I don't know how much that is. But I don't know what he's doing for that money, because the place had never seen a mop. So I go in there, open the door, and it's like one of them holes in the ground. I go, oh, God, can't use that. Push the next door open, that's the same. Oh. Get to the end one, open it. Normal toilet.
All right.
Ding dong.
Brilliant. Sit down there, do what I do, look round, no toilet paper.
Oh, no.
He's waving the rag over the top of the cubicle.
Yeah.
More money.
£10.
So I'm thinking, oh, God. I'm thinking, can I just get up? Because it was quite a clean, you know, I thought if I
That
had
was
to...
quite a clean drop. Sure.
Yeah. So I'm thinking,
Don't
oh,
they use water, though? Don't they use
well,
water?
they have a hose pipe, yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't fancy that.
Well, that's cleaner, though, isn't it? A hose pipe. Really getting a proper
it's
wash.
heck.
Why?
How can it be?
Why?
Because that's just gonna, that's not gonna clean it properly. It's gonna get rid of some bits, isn't it? It's like when you clean a car, yeah, use a hose, but where's a sponge?
Sure.
So,
Yeah, that's
So-
true.
Oh, God!
You rinse off a plate, but then
But
you
I
always
just-
give it a little wipe as well.
Exactly, but I like it. That's when the bloke knocks on the door and goes, "You need sponge?" Yes.
so I'm in there, I look at the door, there's no handle on the door. So I'm trapped in there anyway. Someone's nicked the handle. So I can't open the door. I'm sat there, there's no toilet paper. I'm calling like the people who I'm out there with.
Yeah.
They've got the phones off because we're meant to be filming. So I'm thinking, well, if I just wait, eventually they'll call.
They'll panic, yeah.
And they did after about 20.
Hello? Oh, it's Carl. What do you need? A handle and some toilet paper, please.
So they called up and they had to come down. That fella don't let you in unless you pay 5 Egyptian.
So they let them
and
pay.
they all had to pay 5. I mean, I don't know why they all had to come in to see me. Like it's a bit embarrassing. Yeah.
Did they bring you some toilet paper then?
No, they got it from the fella with the who you pay the money to. He had
you
a
should have
supply.
paid for some on the way in.
I think that's what you do. But they don't give you a full roll. They give you like a strip,
Right.
which I'm pretty wasteful with toilet paper.
well, it's
I
made you
prefer
learn,
to do a good job, use it up, replace it, rather than 5 sheets. I've never done that in my life.
Right.
So my brother taught me something. When he was in the army, he said you used to have to sort of put your hand through it, get it all, then use that paper to get it off your hand.
What?
when you're in the army,
Yeah.
they're taught survival techniques.
Right.
And they said if you're ever caught with very little toilet paper,
There's a survival technique.
Yeah.
not like-
What did he die? Died of a dirty arse. Hold on, wait a minute. Right, what is this technique?
you get the toilet paper,
Right,
use 2 sheets,
right.
fold it over, so you've got, normally to 1 sheet is 2 ply. You've
Right.
got 4 ply.
Right.
So
Two
it's a sort
sheets.
of, it's like a bog glove, a bog paper glove.
Yeah, so you put your hand through it, so you make a hole.
Oh,
What
look
do you
at
mean?
him.
Make a hole.
Make a hole so your hand goes through it.
Yeah.
Then you can wipe your
Give him a
else with
pat.
that.
What,
And
with
then-
your hand?
Yeah, and then the toilet paper that's left, you pull it off like that, and you wipe your
So
fingers with
cute.
it.
Well, so you've still got shit on your hand?
This is horrible.
Yeah,
Why
but
don't
you
you
wiped it off.
why don't you just wipe your ass with the toilet paper?
Because you've only got a couple of sheets because you're in the jungle, right? And it's
But I
survival.
don't know.
It's almost survival, Rick.
So what's the difference between
don't know.
wiping
Maybe you
your
got it
ass
wrong.
with your hand and trying to get shit off your hand, or wiping your ass with the toilet paper and putting your fucking trousers up? I don't know why this is a technique. That's some sort of mad sergeant's idea. What I do, boys, is I like to smear shit all over my face and then use the one sheet of toilet to wash my face off. It doesn't make any sense at all. Should I suggest something for you? You like wiping your ass with your hand. You don't like paper and water. You like a sponge. One of those big foam hands that you see at sporting events. So you just go in with that, like Kenny Everett. You go in there with 2 big sponge. You sit down. You wipe your ass. You just leave them. You just leave
and
them
then
there.
you can cheer about it as you leave. But everyone will know. Be careful with the giant sponge finger then, it doesn't go up the arse. And cause damage. That is a problem.
Well, that's it in the last series of Ricky Gervais Guide To's. Maybe the last guide to ever. Maybe the last audiobook ever.
Who knows?
As you've seen, we've running out of ideas.
Well, I've had enough.
Yeah, so
be
have I,
honest.
yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, that was about the environment, and we certainly recycled some old shit there. So, it's goodbye from me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant,
Bye.
and the global village idiot that is Carl Pilkington. As the Canadian physician William Osler once said, the desire to take medicine is perhaps the greatest feature which distinguishes man from animals. From keyhole surgery to stem cell research, modern medicine enables the 20th century man to play God. But how did we get here? What incremental advances through the ages gave birth to the medical wonders of today? Here to discuss the history and practice of medicine are Stephen Merchant, graduate from the University of Warwick and now award-winning writer,
Thank you very much indeed.
and Carl Pilkington, a man with no qualifications, very little education, but who is now known the world over as a shaven chimp with a head like a fucking orange.
All right.
Well, there is obviously so much to discuss, Ricky. I wonder, in an effort just to provoke some initial thoughts, if I can offer another quote from the great Carl Sagan, who said, advances in medicine and agriculture have saved vastly more lives than have been lost in all the wars in history. So quite a...
Yeah, just shows you shouldn't really worry about war.
what do you mean?
Not a big problem, is it? Obviously. So, that's a good point there, Carl.
That's
No,
really point.
war's not as bad
Yeah,
as a lot of people make out. What do you think, Carl? Overrated? Too much fuss about all...
Well, I don't know anyone who's died in a war, but I know loads of people who have died from, you know, cancer and what have you. So is that going on Carl's quote? Does that work? Is he right? What did he say?
Good, well, we're off to a
What did he
fascinating
say?
start. I think it's probably best, Rick, if we return to the very beginning of time, the dawn of man, because of course, even in primitive prehistoric ages, medicine was practiced in some ways, from the research people have done, cave paintings and the like. Carl, I wonder if you would just give us your initial thoughts on, you know, the medicine of the ancient world.
You've not... You sound like you...
Might be actually
Have you,
cool, man.
you haven't studied it, or you're being...
You be modest.
You being modest?
I never
Do you-
really thought about it.
what do you
They
think...
didn't have much. I know that Tutankhamun,
Tutankhamun?
he died of like having a knee injury. So they didn't have that much medicine knocking about back then.
Right, where do you get this
Oh,
information
for
from? It
fuck's
sounds
sake.
vague.
I read it at an exhibition I went to. and they reckon
Did you
it
read
came-
the whole sentence, or
No, I
just?
just saw like
Yeah.
they had some like video footage like made up. It wasn't from the time, and they just sort of said this is probably what happened.
Sure. Did
Come
you put
on.
the headphones on and listen, though, or do you just guess it? From
I
the
just
pictures?
looked because
Sure, of
I
course.
couldn't have the headphones.
Of course not.
Why can you have the headphones?
They're just expensive.
How much?
About 50 quid, I think, deposit and everything.
Well, you get that
It's a
back though
deposit,
if you
isn't it?
return them. All you have to do is take them
Yeah,
off your
I
head
don't
and
like
hand
the
them
idea
in.
of handing money over because it's like when you get a flat and that and you put a deposit in, you never get the full deposit back. I don't like deposits.
Well, what do you
Trust
think?
me.
What do you think they're
I'm
going to do?
going to
They're going to take 50 quid off because you put wallpaper on your headphones.
No, but it's,
not the same, is it?
Tutankhamun
You
exhibition.
So you're going to deprive yourself of education
I
because
didn't,
you
I
don't
didn't
trust.
deprive me. I saw it.
the
I saw
Natural
these
History
things.
Museum.
It came off a chariot. They're dangerous things.
He came off a chariot. You saw that on the. How do you know he died? How could you tell from visual images that Tutankhamun died from a knee injury?
It's just, honestly, you're going to make yourself look daft here because that's what happened.
Imagine that in a room with Carl Pilkington, we make ourselves look
ourselves look
daft.
daft.
How would we have to? That would be incredible.
So aside from Tutankhamun's knee injury, that's pretty much your grasp of the ancient world of medicine.
Well, I don't know anyone else who's knocking about. Whenever
Well,
you
what
hear
about if we go
ancient-
back even further? What about if we go to sort of primitive man, cave-dwelling man? What do you know there of medicine in that early stage?
They didn't really bother.
Is that
medicine.
guessing or
Wasn't
what-
the earliest ones like people like shaman and those,
Well,
those
absolutely, of course.
tribal lords that would say, well, that was I assume even pagan man had sort of apothecaries that
Yeah,
certain
okay.
roots and
Yeah. Shaman who would use herbs and so on. But of course, if we go back to primitive man, you're obviously familiar. I believe it's pronounced. Is it trepanning?
when you take the top of your head off and let
Where,
out the demons and
They found various skulls from ancient man with holes bored in the top, some of which had
clearly
healed
rotten.
over, suggesting that they had indeed drilled holes in their head, or presumably they wouldn't have had drills in that point, cracked the head,
Yeah.
and in their thinking letting out evil spirits, and then they healed back over. So in some instances, the people survived.
Don't you think it's fascinating that there was one point when man discovered that this thing that we now call the brain, which sort of houses the mind, he knew was in his head.
It's not that amazing.
Well, no,
Okay.
it's not to you because you know it's there.
But,
But
but back then, I reckon I'd know that's where it is.
why? Can you feel where you're thinking?
Well, it just makes sense to put it there.
What do you
Why?
mean?
When you think and you speak, it comes out your mouth. So it just
Yeah.
makes sense that whatever's near that is near to the mouth. If your brain was in your foot, it'd take ages for you to say anything.
No, it wouldn't. Why?
This is like actually talking to a primitive man about his understanding of medicine. They would have more insight. By this point, we'd have just cracked open your head to get the demons out. Shall we move on to the ancient world in terms of Egyptians, the Greeks, the Romans, of course, because they made huge advances, particularly the Romans, who understood, of course, the importance of sanitation. You know, famously, their streets were clean.
Yeah. Don't you think that if we hadn't have cleaned up as much, that, I don't know, we'd be stronger?
What?
Well, I know what you mean. Yeah,
They say now, don't they? They say feed
let
a
your
baby,
kids eat
eat
dirt.
mud and
Yeah,
all
of
that.
course. Well, that's building up its sort of immunity system. If you're too cosseted, you don't fight it. And that's exactly what immunisation is, giving you a bit.
Yeah, but
of
it's
the
gone
disease.
mental now. Whenever a baby's born, he's drugged out of its eyeballs. It's only
do you
about a
mean?
week old. They're giving it all sorts of shots.
Like what?
Loads of stuff for whooping cough.
Yeah, you don't want whooping
sugar
cough.
lumps.
Tutankhamun could have died of whooping
No,
cough.
but give it loads of stuff. And now it's like, I don't know, it's making us weak.
Yeah, soon there's going to be things that, one, we're not immune to, and two, our antibiotics no longer work, because of course things like the viruses and bacteria or whatever, they evolve and change so quickly that you can't keep up with them. And also there's this big thing, like the superbug, for example. There's a very strong theory that says that it's where people took half the course of antibiotics, and what it did was, it was almost like an immunisation to the bacteria and virus against the antibiotic. They got stronger.
That's what I mean.
So yeah, we need some germs, as you'd call them, but there are some that we have eradicated. I mean, I think it was in our lifetime that they eradicated smallpox from the world.
Only took me
They
a
just
fucking
stopped
million
it, and it
years.
saved I mean, millions and millions of lives, and they wiped it out.
There are rumours, of course, that both
Well, it
Russia
doesn't do anything
and
to you.
America still have
What do you think of your
the
own
smallpox
intelligence,
virus under lock and key, which they could theoretically breed and use in a chemical warfare situation.
Well, there was a bit of a scandal a few years ago, I think 10 years ago, where in a university laboratory, someone came across a marked yogurt pot in deep freeze that had smallpox in it. That was a hangover from the 70s.
When you say it was marked, was it like someone's put their name on it because they don't want someone to eat their smallpox yogurt?
I think they looked into it, and it was the deep frozen
Wow.
smallpox virus that thawed out
They
and
just
released.
left in a fridge.
Well, I think so. Yeah,
I'm
it was
worried.
an
I don't
admin
understand.
problem. I'm sure that it's somewhere. What I mean is, it's under lock and key or frozen at minus
So that's
200
not good
degrees
enough, is
centigrade.
it?
Why?
Under lock and key and all that. It's not good enough. Get rid of it. Why are they keeping a little tub of smallpox knocking about?
Well, are they not? Are they not meant to be?
Well,
No,
that's
but
a
what was he doing
lesson.
there in the first place? To me, that's like in James Bond, where they don't kill him when they have the chance. There's always that little thing of, oh, let's play with danger. Let's keep a bit.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Pop it
probably
next to AIDS in the Kiora bottle. I don't understand why you'd store that.
Well, there's probably a presumption, it's probably an overhang from the Cold War, where people were thinking, well, listen, what if Russia's still got some smallpox? We better hang on to some smallpox.
It's just
Yeah.
clutter though as well, isn't it? You see, we're obsessed. We're keeping stuff. And it's the same with germs. We can't even say, get rid of that. We won't be needing it. Smallpox. We'll keep it just in case. Get rid of it. We've got this obsession thing again. It's saving everything. It's like how we save every animal, even a germ. We get upset about if it dies out.
Yeah,
Keep a
but
bit,
well,
keep a bit.
you say that, but of course, famously Alexander Fleming discovered what may be the most important breakthrough of the 20th century, which was the first antibiotic, I think, in 1928, and he's literally saved hundreds of millions of lives with that, changed the face of modern medicine, and he discovered that because he left a bit of old bread out for a while, and it went all mouldy in his kitchen, and he thought, oh, what's that? Oh, let's have a look.
Like I've said to you before, it's down to him being scruffy more than anything.
Well, not,
It just seems like there's a lot of scruffy kitchens around that, I mean, you're saying...
But think if his cleaner had come in and gone, oh, Mr. Fleming, you disgust me, you fucking filthy scruffy cunt, I'm going to throw all this bread away. He's going to go, Maud, what'd you do with that, old bread I left out? It'd gone green, sir, so I chucked it away. Oh, Maud, you dopey fucking slut. You've just caused millions and millions of people to die. Keep out of my fucking kitchen.
I know, but don't put it there. It's the same way smallpox in,
So you're
in a
on Maud's
yogurt
side.
pot. It's in a yogurt pot.
Well,
You're asking for trouble.
but what if Maud had come in and thrown that away? Again?
He couldn't shout at her. She's doing a job. I'd be annoyed if it was still there.
Yeah,
I'd
so...
say it's been here now for a couple of weeks. You haven't even asked. There's a lot of cleaners. That's part of the problem, I'd say. The cleaners. They're not doing the job. That's the problem in hospitals, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's filth everywhere.
Well, they proved a point. In one hospital, they brought a team of people in to show doctors and nurses how to clean things properly, and deaths went down 30%.
There you go.
Just from properly washing your hands and properly washing the floor and things. That's amazing, isn't it?
It's pretty simple. Just don't put, like, yogurt pots with smallpox in the fridge. I
Yeah,
mean, that's
but
a
you-
starter.
Yeah, but you were saying earlier, let's let babies eat mud, don't inject them.
Yeah, but
Let them
we've
crawl
gone-
around a dirty floor,
I
clean
did-
up the floor, and no one will
I
die.
did say that, but we've gone too far now. Babies are coming out mad. Oh, they can't handle anything now. Oh,
Coming
he's got
out
a
what?
runny nose. They're coming out all mardy.
All
Get ill.
mardy.
Yeah, they get ill easy. They're not tough babies anymore. We're ending up with a load of weak people who need looking after all the time. That costs a lot of money. And they can't do anything. They're useless. Now, that doesn't happen in other nature. If a little weak bird is born, you see Bill Oddie saying that won't last. He says that won't last a week. And he's right. You watch it and he says, oh, that third baby that came out, it died. And
But
he
what's
was
your
right.
point, Carl? That modern
My
medicine,
point-
which can help people live to the age of 75, 80, that it shouldn't be doing that? It should
just-
let people just die off?
Well, here's something, right? The
Go on.
estate that I grew up on, there's a woman there,
Yeah.
Scruffy Sandra. her name was.
I like her already. Oh, it's great. It's so descriptive.
Now-
She had no chance, even if she cleaned up her act.
Yeah.
She'd come in looking like Pretty Woman. You go, all right, Scruffy.
No,
What's the point? What is the point?
So the thing is, she used to always get on these buses called dialer rides that were sort of like posh taxis. You could call for one, it'd come round to your house,
Yeah.
and it would pick you up, and you'd pay like 50p.
But it
you
would
were
pick up a bunch of other people as well.
Yeah, on the way. So it would take ages to
what
get
a
to where you're
nightmare
going.
that is.
Oh, it's good though. It's kind of a bit of a day out. Old people used to love it because you'd get to see things.
Right.
And you'd hear a call coming in on the radio that Scruffy Sandra's being picked up, and you go, oh god. And she'd always have loads of bin bags with her for some reason. Now the thing is,
Well, she sounds clean.
she stunk.
Well, she's taken out the
Was
bin
she
bag,
homeless?
No, she wasn't homeless. No, she used to just she just didn't bath and that. She just stunk. But the weird thing is,
though. Why did they call her Stinky Sandra?
she never was ill.
Right.
People didn't sit next to her
Yeah.
because she stunk.
Yeah.
Now, because of that, anyone who might have had a bit of flu or a cold never sat next to Scruffy Sandra
Right.
because she stunk. But that was good. That was like a protection thing for her because she knew that because she stunk, no one wants to sit next to her. She wouldn't pick up the germ.
Right. No, but this is quite. Your point is, in order to fend off illness, you have to not bathe, and so you stink.
So you're saying that it wasn't that she'd built up an immunity, it was that she stank so much that flu wouldn't come near her.
This
Could be
is
a lot
such
of
a
you.
specific example. It's not applicable in any other scenario.
There's always colds, there's always flu. It's whether your immunity is good or bad. The times I get ill are usually after like a long haul flight or something, when you're surrounded by it and you're run down a little bit. Or
Maybe if
know,
you didn't bathe for 3 days before the flight.
Yeah. So it's always there. There's colds and flus everywhere. That's interesting, isn't it? That more sort of colds are spread through shaking hands than people, just taking in the air, because people sneeze into their hand and they think that's sort of safer. But then they shake hands and you get it on your hand and it sort of dies in the air quickly, but it stays on your skin a bit more because it's you're nice and warm, lovely environment. So that's why some sort of germaphobes don't even shake hands anymore.
Yeah, but that's going too far because they're going to die of something. You can't be that paranoid. You've got to get on with your life.
Loneliness.
And it's good to feel ill because when you feel better, you appreciate how good
Doesn't
you feel.
make any sense at all. It's good to feel ill. Doesn't make any sense at all.
No, it does afterwards. The other weekend when I was ill, I don't know what was up with me, but I got something.
Symptoms?
Went to the toilet a lot, felt sick at the same time, got a sweat on, felt weak, had the shakes.
Just a bug, yeah.
Lasted probably about 24 hours. After that 24 hours, you go, oh, I feel good again. It's nice to feel good again. And it makes you appreciate how good you feel. Now, sometimes I don't know if I feel well.
Doesn't make any sense at all either. What do you mean? Sometimes you don't know whether you feel well.
Because I've been in my body for years.
Here he goes again.
Go on, yeah.
Here he goes again.
Now,
the two minds.
If there was some sort of kit that the doctor said, how are you feeling, Mr. Pilkington? And I go, oh, I think I feel all right. And they go, well, do you? I go, I don't know. And they go, well, step into the machine, right? Get into the machine, and if he could somehow transfer my feeling into his body so I could feel how he feels, and then he can feel how I feel, and he'll go, oh, you're not well at all. Your heartbeat's irregular for a start.
You're a maniac.
This is... I
No.
don't know what's going on here.
Because-
Why don't you
you
just
get used-
accept that if you feel well,
Because you don't know if you
Hang
feel
on, let's
well.
get this machine built. Sorry, why are people bothering studying AIDS? We've got to get this machine built.
Listen, this machine could do a lot of good if they could do it.
Why?
Because some people, you hear about people who go, oh, I think I've got a bit of wind. Before you know it, they drop down dead. Right? Because
Right.
they didn't know. They just, well, didn't Mr. Jones have a sweat on, Mrs. Jones, before? Oh, yeah, he did, but he always had a sweat on. Well, didn't it bother him? No, he was used to it. Happened for years. Why didn't you come in? Oh,
So,
he
and
felt
what would
all
the
right.
machine do again?
The machine would make my doctor
Yeah.
feel like me. He'd be sat there and he'd go,
Sorry,
Oh.
who's saying to Mrs. Jones, didn't Mr. Jones have a sweat on?
the doctor.
So the doctor knew he had a sweat on. Why didn't the doctor say, well, we better look at that?
No, he
No,
didn't.
no,
He asked
He's not a
Mrs.
very
Jones.
good doctor, though, is he? He's not a very good doctor, then.
Yeah, but this is the problem now, isn't it?
Right, so
Because there's too
Mr.
many ill
Jones went to the
people.
doctor and said, oh, I've got a sweat on, right?
Right, so he'd go, well, I'll tell you what, get in the machine. So Mr. Jones gets in the machine.
Yeah.
The doctor hits the button. Mr. Jones gets into the doctor. The doctor
Right.
goes, you have got a sweat on. I'm familiar with this because I had a fella in the other day with a similar thing. Take 3 of these.
You are a mental case. I don't know what this is.
Because-
But why can't
what
the
is- what is
doctor
this-
make that observation like a doctor
Yeah,
does? Why
what
can't
is
the
this-
doctor, using his knowledge, observe the
I
person
tell
with the
you
sweat
why.
on?
I tell you
This is
why.
like a scene from Ghost. This is like
Right.
Patrick Swayze.
Listen, do
borrowing...
you know that time when I went to the doctors and he said my nerves are too short?
That doesn't make any sense at
No,
all.
no, no.
Well,
what
listen,
was.
I've told you about it. I don't want to go through it again. But he looked at my legs and stretched them and that. He said, "Yeah, it's the old short nerves problem." Now, that took like 3 visits before he worked that out.
Right.
But how would he be able... Just because if he was feeling how you were feeling, I wouldn't help him identify it,
Yeah,
would it?
you're there in your body and you're not going, bloody hell, my nerves are a bit short. Doctor, you go into the doctor, okay, and we're just going to place Pilkington in.
Right.
Oh,
I'll tell you
Pilkington
the
is in me. Oh, my nerves are too short.
When my nerves were short,
Are they not short already? Have they extended since then?
well, I just have to do stretches and it's pulled them about.
Right.
But when I had that, I'm not very good with words.
Go on.
So when I was going in saying, "Doctor, my knee's aching," and he'd go, "What sort of ache is it?" I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just an ache. And if-
Toothache. It's like a toothache in my
No,
leg.
but it's different. It's
on.
a different ache. Now the thing
Arseache.
is,
It's like an arseache.
it's hard to explain an ache.
So he'd
Yeah.
have to feel the ache, and then he could make an assumption from it.
Thank you.
So he would presumably go through training, going in the machine, and they'd bring in various sick people, and he would experience and feel every single ailment.
Great.
Yeah, but over.
Doctor, I'm going to let you know now what a swift kick in the bollocks feels like, just in case you ever have to diagnose that. Oh, you God! I can't remember that one.
Yeah, but
Doctor, now you're going to feel a spike up the arse.
it's all about.
Yeah.
It's,
Oh, I can't remember that one. Okay.
No,
Doctor-
couldn't I just wait until the man comes in with a spike up my arse?
No, you got to tell you so you know
But
when
I
you
reckon I
feel
could
it.
assess it if he's coming, he's got the spike up his arse. I'd
You've
be
got
able
to
to tell.
experience everything before someone comes in and gets into your body like Ghost, and you'll know what it is.
Hey, listen, let's not dismiss this idea out of hand, of course, because you'll famously remember, Rick, that Carl had the idea of a man who can grow backwards. So he's born as an old man,
Yeah.
and when he dies, he's a young baby. I think we're all looking forward to the new Brad Pitt film. That is exactly that plot.
a bit strange.
It's not really strange, is it? Because it's from a novel, I think written before Carl was born.
That's true. That is true. Yes.
Yeah,
So
but I
actually-
haven't read it.
Well,
so
that's obvious.
It's just an idea, and with all ideas comes something. Einstein said that. He said if an idea isn't
Go on.
Uh,
Wait. Just
what
let
did
him
Einstein
finish.
say?
We've got an Einstein quote here.
Yeah.
This is an historic day. Carl, sorry, what were you saying? What did Albert Einstein say?
he just said something along the lines of.
No. Give us the
Come on,
quote.
do
Give us
it.
the
No,
quote.
it doesn't matter about
No,
how he
don't.
worded it. It's the point in hand.
Well, I think it is. I think a quote. I think like all, any sort of poetic content of anything is exactly how it's worded. So just what did Einstein
It's
say
not,
exactly?
no, it's
Well,
not.
no, is it?
Well, he said something along the lines of
Go on.
an idea. If an idea isn't daft,
Oh, start again.
No, come on, let's hear it.
No, because he started. Because
he said if an idea isn't daft, it isn't worth thinking about.
What? Say it again.
If an idea isn't daft, it isn't worth thinking about.
I can't imagine him saying daft.
No, well, it was something like that though, meaning that every new idea seems a bit mental,
Yeah,
right?
it's a good
But
point.
then it leads to something.
well,
I'm not sure that
no,
but
no.
I think if we were sat with Einstein now and you'd brought up the machine that allows doctors to feel, I don't think he'd be saying we should
No.
pursue that idea.
There's some ideas that go, I think the Earth might be round. Who go, oh, it is flat. And then there's people who stand in doorways covered in crucifixes with tinfoil on their head, saying Jesus is in my cock.
Yeah. But
Now he's a mentalist.
yes, but what I'm saying is, wouldn't you have said it was mental years ago when someone said, I'm going to make a machine so I can look inside your head? Years on, hello, get in the machine, we've got an MRI scanner. It's the next one along.
You'd have gone, they'd have gone, well, why are you looking in their head? It's where the brain is.
I'll tell you what,
Go on.
we've got similar to it anyway, because I've read about this machine where, right, say if, put it on Steve, right?
Go on.
I wear a camera on my head.
Right, if this is going to be I can see Steve's thoughts.
No, but it's similar to that, and it works as well. So, I put a camera on Steve's head.
Okay, it's changed already. Whose head's the camera on?
I don't think it matters.
Okay,
Okay,
fine.
okay, well, okay,
Let's
okay.
put
Just
the
explain
camera on
it to
Steve's
me.
head.
Okay,
right,
okay, the
we've got a
camera's-
camera on Steve's head.
Right,
What I've got on my head are some goggles.
right,
Over your eyes?
Yeah.
Okay.
okay.
You've got the camera. Through my goggles, I'm seeing what your camera's seeing.
And where's the camera? Is it looking out from my eyes?
Yeah. Right?
So basically you can see what I can
So
see.
I'm seeing what you see.
But couldn't you
That's
just
just a
stand where I'm standing?
Well, that's just a monitor. Well, that happens now. Yeah, you can
No,
all
listen,
have
I
the same
haven't
monitor.
Hang on.
finished.
So
Okay.
wait.
So, how does it work now? Hang
Well,
on a
no,
minute.
wait.
Hang on a minute.
This is. You're at the Royal College of Surgeons. You're presenting this idea now. Everyone in the world is sat down here. The eminent scientists. They're going, "Can't people don't know he's a genius. He's got an idea for cameras and goggles."
No, you're saying this already exists.
This has just come out the other week.
Oh, okay.
Put a camera on Steve's eyes. He sees through the camera. I've got the goggles
Why
on.
is he seeing through a camera? I don't know what you mean. He's just got. Is
Wherever
it
he looks, the camera's looking.
Okay, so it's a camera, right? Okay,
It's a camera on his head.
He's not seeing through it. It's just seeing what he sees because it's pointing in exactly the same direction as his
Yeah,
eyes.
if he turns his head to the right,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
will see.
So it's monitored so you're seeing. You're looking at a monitor, really.
Right. So one of the simplest ideas, but it's taken us 20 minutes to explain it.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
So it's the same as a cameraman pointing the camera anywhere. We're watching the telly. We're seeing what the cameraman sees, basically. Go on then.
but it's not like
you've
that.
just invented television. Well done.
Okay, right. So I've got the camera on my head. It's seeing what I'm seeing. Go.
Right.
You've got goggles on your eyes.
I've got goggles on. If you turn right, I feel like I'm turning right.
Okay.
Now my
Yeah.
brain gets
Yeah.
to a point that if you wear it for long enough, that brain thinks it's you. Because what happens is, because the brain's being kidded. At the end of the day, my brain thinks it's seeing everything because my eyes are looking at stuff.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. But it doesn't think I'm Steve Merchant. It experienced what Steve's seeing this like a virtual reality.
No, but that's the weird thing. If you wear it for long enough, the brain's sort of seeing it like Steve's arm go up to his head and scratch it, and it gets to a point where the brain feels a scratch, even though it's not scratching my head. So they're saying this is like you're kidding your brain, basically.
I
can
can see
kick
how
your
that would
brain.
work. I
But
see
you're
how
not.
that would work.
You're not going to believe that you're me.
No, you're not
going
believing
to
Steve
start
Merchant.
experiencing life as I experience it.
My brain would.
What do you mean your brain would, but you wouldn't?
Because
We've
I'm
done this,
kidding.
Steve.
I'm kidding the
We've
brain.
done this.
Yes, but you couldn't kid it into thinking you're me. You wouldn't forget that you're Carl wearing a contraption.
But what it was saying is if someone went up to your stomach and started tickling you, my brain would look down and see that someone is tickling me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'd start laughing.
I can understand you
No,
might.
you wouldn't. No, you would. Well, yeah, you might do because it might be a confusing
But
stimulus.
yes, but the point is, there may be certain physical things which you experience through it, but you're not going to stop thinking, "Hang on, I'm Carl wearing the mask." Are
No.
you?
But you can do that.
You're
can
thinking
kid-
you're thinking you're Carl, seeing all the things that
Yeah,
actually
you're going to
Steve's
start
yeah.
having memories that you think are your. What? Your memories are going to change. You're not going to remember your name. You're not going to remember Suzanne's name. What were you talking about?
No, but say if we did that at that event with a load of students in front of us, I'd remember that day through your eyes.
Right.
So I'd
yeah,
be living your day.
But you'd also
That's
remember that you were
your
wearing
life.
a contraption. You
Yeah.
wouldn't remember it as being, "Oh, I was Steve Merchant for a day."
But I
Yeah,
kind
we'd
of
have different
was.
thoughts because you'd access. But look, Carl, listen. I sat down and we watched the same thing. We watched a bit of Brokeback Mountain, and we
Yeah.
all had different thoughts.
Yeah, because we're all sat in different places.
No, roughly speaking, we had the same experience when we were looking at the same thing. But it doesn't mean you assess it the same way, it doesn't mean you understand it the same way, and it doesn't mean you apply the knowledge in the same way.
No, I understand that, but
It's an interesting experiment. It is interesting. It'd be interesting to see it live. You're actually living. It's a different window to the world.
well, yeah. Say if like I was a fellow with no arms and legs, but these goggles had a really long lead, and you went about living your day, and I was looking through your eyes, I could have quite an interesting life.
Yes, you could,
Without
but you
the
wouldn't
axle.
stop remembering that you're the person wearing the contraption.
And also, if
But what is life?
Yeah,
Life
but
is what you experience.
Yeah, but no,
and-
if Steve went off, but you'd know this, wouldn't you? I mean,
Well, would you? If you stuck one on a baby,
Well, yeah, that's different. Yeah,
Well,
I
there
mean,
you go.
if a baby knew no different, and those were his experience, then he would be feeling what he thought he was. Then there'd be nothing. But then, you know, let's face it, tickling someone is the sensation. It's not the thought. It's not the concept of being
no,
tickled.
it's not
is funny.
though, because if someone goes to tickle you, but they don't tickle you, you can actually laugh, can't you? Because you go, oh god, I know what the feeling's going to be like.
Yes, because you've already experienced the real thing.
Yeah. I still think. there's
Well,
something
so
in
stop
it.
with that. Stop that sentence there, and you're lying.
Let's go back, if we may, shall we, to just some of the extraordinary early developments in medicine. Do you mind if we
Yes.
if we go back, just get back on message? There are, of course, a number of extraordinary developments. You may obviously be aware, Carl, that the first contraceptive diaphragms, centuries ago, where citrus rinds, like an orange rind, for instance, would be used.
I mean, more selfish men turned them inside out.
I believe that's also still being used in parts of Manchester.
For what?
An orange. Just think of your head.
And it worked.
Well, we don't know at this juncture.
I mean, maybe. I don't
It
know,
worked for contraception because women went, "Fuck off! What are you coming to me with a fucking orange on your cock for, you dirty cunt?"
But it could. I mean, again, it's that thing in it of we look at it now and we laugh, but look at what's happening. People now are always trying to get us to eat more fruit.
I don't.
Amazing.
That's a way of getting.
I thought for a minute he was going to say, okay,
know.
so they start with, then they went from the orange rind to, say, a coconut shell.
Yeah.
That was too big, that didn't work.
Run! Here
Yeah.
comes Coconut John!
No, don't put half a pineapple on your cock, that's insane.
Yeah, that's mental.
And then somewhere down the line, they finally got to contraception as we understand it. Is that? I thought that's where you're going, but
No.
something
No.
about eating oranges is healthy
No,
for you.
what I'm saying is, if you go into any well-known supermarket and you look at, say, some young kid who's had a kid, and you look at stuff in their shopping basket, they're not buying fruit. They're buying, burgers and chips.
Turkey Twizzlers,
Yeah,
crisps
and all that. Now, but they love having it away. Get some fruit in. So they definitely have fruit in the house, which at the moment, a lot of kids don't have fruit in their house. That's why they're eating Turkey Twizzlers. But the mum loves having it away. So she would have loads of fruit in.
So, if she
everyone's
was,
happy.
If
the
she
kids
was
are
using
eating
an
fruit.
orange for contraception, she would also be giving the kids.
Well, you wouldn't waste
so half
it.
the orange she'd give to the kids, and half the orange she'd stick up her penny.
Yeah, a treat for everyone. Have a bit of fruit, and she's got what she wants. Whereas at the moment, what happens? A burger's not coming in helpful for anyone.
If you want me tonight, pop a sesame seed bone on your cock. Take out the fucking pickle. No one likes a fucking pickle up the fanny. Oh, he's a bloody romantic. He popped a plum roast sausage up my fanny yesterday. He loves me. Oh, no. Right.
Did you know, Carl, that cataract operations on the eye were performed in India as early as 1000 BC? And in Babylonia, in the same time, the fees of eye surgeons were rigidly fixed by law and were quite generous. So, for instance, if you're a very rich person, it cost you about 10 shekels. If you're a slave, only 2 shekels. But if the rich person lost the sight of their eye after the surgeon had operated, they would cut off the hand of the doctor.
What? So he gets one chance at it?
Well, he doesn't want to screw up.
Yeah, I know, but everyone's allowed a couple of errors. That's how you learn, isn't it? That's a stupid rule. But then again, I don't know why they'd be so worried about their eyes back then.
What do you mean?
Well, there was less to look at back then.
What do you mean?
Well, like that, I saw a fella on the tube on the way here today who was blind, proper fully on blind.
Blind.
Now, for him, I just was like, oh, that's so depressing.
Right.
So much to see in the world now. Loads of stuff.
Right.
Art, buildings, and all that. Now, back then, if these people did have sight once, the pyramids, you remember it in your head, and that's enough. There wasn't loads of clutter anyway. It was all sand, so even if you fell over because you're blind, at least you landed on something soft. Whereas now, it's rubbish being blind. Stairs, loads and loads of people, loads of curbs and things. It's not a good time to be blind. So I'd prefer, if I was going to be blind,
That's
be blind
brilliant.
back when Tutankhamun was
See,
knocking
that's
about.
a choice that people have that are blind now.
No.
If you're going to be blind back when Tutankhamun was knocking about.
But all I'm saying
Sorry,
is...
Doctor, I didn't realise there was a choice.
It
Oh,
seems-
yeah. If you'd only told me you were going blind, I'd have said, well, let's get you back 3,000 years.
It just seems a bit harsh, that's all. When someone's trying to help you and operate on your eyes, and they have a little bit of a slip-up, like we all do in jobs, you have a bad day, and he has to have his hands cut off. Then who's helping him? Who puts the hand back on him? And if they don't put the hand back on him right, do they have something done to them?
They're blinded.
Well, it just seems
Blinded,
like
yeah.
a no-win situation. I wouldn't be a doctor. And maybe that's why there aren't enough doctors about now, because of things like that that put people off.
I don't think so.
Well, I wouldn't be a doctor now.
Why?
Look at the hassle that happens now. You're being watched all the time. You're not allowed to slip up.
Right.
Well, that's generally quite a good rule, isn't it? That doctors don't make mistakes.
No, but you've got to. I'd say at the end of the day, it's a complicated job. I'd get more annoyed when, you know, say like the fella I've got round coming to fix my boiler. The fact he keeps having a go, he keeps charging me 80 quid, he don't really fix
Is
it.
it
and
still
he
still
keeps
not
coming back.
working?
I haven't cut his hands off.
No.
He keeps coming back. Oh, I'm a bit short on money, let's go round to the Pilkington household. Charge him 80 quid again. Oh, it's Christmas, let's pop round twice. Do you know what I mean? Whereas a doctor who's trying to help people, it's a difficult job.
Yeah.
If he makes a mistake now and again, I think, well, it's bound to happen. It's complicated.
Can't you see where I agree with you that people make mistakes, and I imagine there are good and bad doctors. They try and even that out by it being a very, very obviously stringent exam, and you know.
It's 11 years they've got to do. I read up on it. 11 years it takes to be a doctor.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
It takes 7.
No, but then they've got to be in hospital or something for 4 years before they get to play with someone.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So
okay.
that's ages. You're going to get bored. You're going to get bored.
Well,
and then when
no, but that's it. They really do try and rule out, and there's still chance and mistake, and don't forget, you know, you're given nearly impossible tasks still in medicine. Just think of the risk with you know, transplants alone. You know, and they're getting better and better at those, and they're lasting longer.
But the fact of the matter is, it's better to have a go, innit, than not have one. If someone said to me, right, you need a new heart,
yeah,
we're going to do it.
If they say you're going to die anyway, let's try this new thing, you might as well. But then there are some things that there is not worth the risk. When someone, it goes wrong, someone's facial surgery goes wrong because they wanted plumper lips or a little nose, I'll go, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
You shouldn't even be doing that. Doctors shouldn't even be allowed to do that.
I don't know why. I really don't know why a doctor under a Hippocratic oath takes the risk of something going badly wrong. Sometimes general anaesthetic because they can't be bothered to fucking go for a run. Right? So they have fucking bits sliced off and tied up and sucked out. I want to go, you lazy fucking fat pig. Just go for a run and stop eating burgers. Right? You might fucking die.
Well, can I just stop you there, Rick? Because actually, if it weren't for a plump patient, the stethoscope would never have been invented.
What? Because he couldn't hear.
Yeah, the person who invented the stethoscope, Dr. René Laennec, had a very fat patient come in and couldn't hear her heart through the blubber.
But then that's the sign of the problem. I mean, that's the sign of the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, rather than saying, hang on, let's get a bigger chair in for her because she's got a fat arse, I'd say, well, you're not welcome here. If you can't get through the door, I'm not seeing you. I mean, if you've got a doctor who's having his hands cut off because he messed up an operation, yet fatty's coming in and getting special treatment, I wouldn't give him time of day. You see, this is what I'm saying, right? This is going right back to what I was saying at the beginning. The problem is, we've got pills for everything, and all this is doing is making people treat the body badly. Because you're going, be alright, there'll be something.
It's funny, isn't it, that like these tests, they go, well, let's have a look. It's what we were talking before about weighing kids. If they can't get through the door to get to school, you don't know. If they go, oh, I'm just going to take a sample of your stool. Actually, I don't. You're too fat. Your shit's come out like tagliatelle. Your ass is too fucking fat. Stop eating your gun.
I'm going to take a sample of your stool. What, the one you fucking broke when you sat down?
I just think this is the problem. You know, we can do too much, and because of this, people are going, I don't care about my body. They worry more about the plasma telly getting a scratch on it than they do about their own body.
Exactly.
And if we stopped giving them tablets willy-nilly, they'd have to look after the body more.
Willy-nilly is one of the worst diseases in the Western world, of course. Now, medicine is the art or science of healing. And that doesn't always have to be a drug or a surgery. I mean, bedside manner has a lot to do with things, and also it's all about care as well. We mustn't just forget that some people don't need medicine; they just need help. For example, there are people that help disabled people have intercourse where they can't, you know, maybe get on to the woman herself, and there's someone that actually helps the man put in his penis to the woman's vagina. They leave the room. What?
I've never even heard of this.
It's true. Absolutely true. They're helpers.
Yeah, no, I believe that is the case.
Yeah. And that's just as needed as anything that might cure their own.
It's not. That's pleasure.
Yeah. So what are you saying? Because you can't walk or move, that you can't love someone and want to share that love?
I'm just saying it's not a priority.
Well, no, but they're going to live. They're healthy apart from their disability. I've met someone. They want to, you know, consummate this love, and someone is helps them out and goes, well, you know, that's part of my job.
No, it's not part of the job.
Well, it
no one
is
would
part
take
of this
the job
job
on.
because that's their job.
I have never heard anyone say, "Oh, I've had a right day today."
Why?
I've been playing with Arthur's tackle all day.
They don't
I've
play
never-
with Arthur's tackle. They pop Arthur's tackle in Hilda's vagina.
I don't think they do.
They do.
How can they enjoy that? I mean,
not
maybe
doing it
once,
to enjoy it.
and they'd go, "That didn't work, did it? I didn't enjoy that, Hilda."
No.
How can they enjoy it with a nurse stood there
They
having to
don't.
do that?
No, they help her in. She helps Arthur in, or he might be a male nurse. Pops Arthur in. Goes, okay, Arthur. I'll see you in a few minutes. Right. Goes outside.
But what's the point, though, in that?
Why?
Because it's all about the mood and everything. He's just stuck onto her like a stag beetle clinging onto a leaf. There's no enjoyment in that.
Oh, the well-known stag beetle copulating with a leaf syndrome.
No, but I'm
That's
just
the
saying.
well-known position in the Kama Sutra.
I'm
No,
just
he
saying.
knows it. You know, I think it's a lovely act, and someone's willing to. Wouldn't you help someone
Definitely
in?
not.
No.
Definitely
What? So
not.
no. Look, so the guy goes, oh, this is my wife. We're both say, well, I can't. You know, can you just pop me in, Carl? You're the only. You know, you're the only person around.
No, I don't think it's important.
But there are
enough.
people.
What do you mean you don't think it's important enough?
I'd be happy to go round, put the washing on for them, make the bed. Do you want a cup of tea? Yeah, I'd love one. There you go. Oh, just before you go, forget it. If they asked me to do that, I'd quit. And I don't think it happens because people
It
wouldn't take
does
that on
happen.
for a job. You
It
never
does.
hear about it on Comic Relief when they're raising money. They don't go, thanks to Midland Bank for this £100 that's going to go towards Arthur getting his end away.
That's
No.
ridiculous. So you would rather them not have the pleasure of each other than just help them in.
No, because they'd work out some way that they could do something for each other. I like to play the guitar. My fingers aren't long enough. I've knocked it on the head. It's the same thing. If you can't do it, don't do it.
So are you telling me, right? Okay. Supposing there's a little fella who's got no arms, no legs, right?
Right?
Little Bob. Okay. There he is. All right, Carl. Right. He's got a friend, another little fella with no arms and no legs. All right, Carl. Right. They love each other. Two little fellas, two little dwarves with no arms and no legs. Okay. Lovely little fellas. They get married. Okay.
Look, Carl, you can't put my penis up my boyfriend's bottom, can you?
No, I can't. No.
Why not?
No,
Why
do
not?
you need
Carl?
anything else doing?
No, I'm fine. Yeah, I've got
No, it's weird how you can manage everything else.
Well, no.
I'm here to help you. Everything else seems to be sorted.
Well, just in the chair.
Why do you need help in this department?
Well, because he's over there and I'm here, and if you just pop me in and just
No,
leave
I'm
it
not
there.
doing that. It's not good for you. You've lost your arms and legs. You'll be losing that soon if you carry on sticking it up there.
Well, after the medical advancements of the Greeks and the Romans, of course, through the Middle Ages, particularly in Europe, we ended up going backwards, and it became, people sort of returned to superstition, started relying on that. Sanitation was poor. A lot of the amazing sanitation the Romans had built was left to ruin, and we went backwards. And really, it wasn't until the Renaissance that people like Leonardo da Vinci started to, draw pictures of the anatomy and so on.
Well, putting scientific evidence and experimentation behind the theories, as opposed to someone with a big cold and saying, if you bury a toad, your warts go away.
Exactly.
He looked into this and thought, well, maybe they don't. Maybe it's a coincidence, you know. So that's where experimentation comes. Empirical evidence, not just hope.
Of course, you still couldn't experiment or dissect humans because that was frowned upon. So often they would actually, the only people they were allowed to dissect and operate on were criminals. And at times, criminals would actually be dissected or cut open whilst they were still alive as part of their punishment. Is that ever justifiable, do you think, Carl, that people sacrifice for medical advancements?
They do it now, don't they? You hear about these people having, tests done on them. You get paid 20 quid and you say, let's rub this cream on your head.
Yeah.
And you get your 20 quid, and if your head goes funny, they say, well, you took the 20 quid, it's your own fault.
Wasn't that a student that took a few
his head,
grand?
he
What
became
happened?
the living elephant man, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
It was quite horrific. His head was in all kinds of weird
Yeah,
shapes.
I mean, that's unfortunate for 20 quid. But I'd say do it on the ill people, because they've got nothing to lose. Just test it. It's, all this testing on animals and that. Well, don't test it on animals. If you've got an itch, the doctor can say, I've got this cream here. We haven't tested it. It might work. It might make it worse. Give it a go.
Right.
Yeah, but the whole point is that if you do that, someone's head might blow up to the side of the
it
elephant.
might outweigh the ailment.
That's happened already. A fella who had nothing wrong with him has now got a head of the elephant man for
Yeah.
20 quid.
Yes, I know. Well, but
That isn't fair.
no, I know. But you're saying you're going for athlete's foot. Rub this on your feet. Oh, your bollocks fell off. Never mind. It was a chance we had to take.
I mean, that's a particularly sloppy bit of medical research, that one.
I know. Yeah.
No, but say like my Auntie Nora, right? She's had everything wrong with her, right? She's had tablets that haven't been tested on anyone else. They test them on Nora. She's up for it. She's like, oh, I haven't had that. Let's have a little tester.
Yeah.
She loves it. But she knows that that's the case, and she's happier to give something a go than not a go. I mean, it's ridiculous the amount of stuff. She rattles. She carries that many pills, like a maraca. You can hear her coming. But that's the way her life is now. She's just used to the fact that if it weren't for all these tablets, she'd be dead.
Yeah, but well, not necessarily. But the pills. She doesn't take pills that have been untested. She's not taking experimental
I think
pills.
she's honestly, she's got so much.
Well, so
she
again,
has a lot.
you just made that up. Then you just assumed that they haven't been tested on someone. Where'd they get them? Where'd they get these pills from that haven't been tested?
Well, it's all very new. She's on a lot of new medication. That can go either way.
Could this be one of the reasons why she farted for 24 hours?
It could have been one of the side effects.
5 minutes.
Oh, 5 minutes, was it?
Yeah, that's what that's what my mum said. It's all the medication because your body's in shock, isn't it? It's been, given all these drugs that it's not used to.
Luckily, some of the pills weren't suppositories because she'd have lost them. in the great fart of 1989.
I've lost all my suppositories.
But that's what you do, innit? If you're in pain, and I mean, like I don't know if I told you when I had kidney stones,
I think you mentioned it.
I was in agony,
Yeah.
and they said I was in A&E, lying on my back, and the woman at the A&E counter said to Suzanne, "Who's that over there?" And she said, "Oh, he's with me. He's in agony." So they said, "What's up with him?" So "Oh, it's his kidney stones again." Because this is when I went back at the night. I was like, I couldn't care that people were staring at me. I was rolling about on the floor like a dying fly on my back. I just didn't care about what was going on around me. But I was told that because it's busy, that they might have to send someone out to shove like something up my arse that would get to the pain quicker.
What do you mean send them out? Well, they send while you're lying on the floor in A&E, they're going to stick something in your arse.
What do you mean? Oh, you mean a pill? I thought you meant to get to your kidney quicker than up your knob.
No, a pill. They put it up there, and apparently it'll kick in quicker.
Yeah.
The tablet works quicker
Yeah.
up your arse than it does down your throat.
Yeah, because
Did
it's
you
a
have it
mucous membrane and it's.
Well, I was up for it. I just was like, whatever it takes. Now, saying that to me now...
But
now,
hold on though, what if the doctor said, okay, I could give you this morphine, take it, it will take a few minutes to kick in, or I could rub some on my penis, I pop an orange on the end of my penis, I rub that in morphine, and I pop that out of your rectum, Mr. Pilkington. Are you in agony or not? Are you in agony? Okay, look, I'm just smearing...
I'd say I'll get a second opinion.
Well, no, you haven't got time. There it is. Do you want this up your arse? It's covered in morphine. He's in his private life, he's a promiscuous gay man, but in his professional life, he is a doctor with a morphine smeared penis, and he's ready for action. So, if you're,
and he's willing to do that in the middle of A&E.
Yeah. So
he takes no pleasure from that.
It's the only way. So, are you in pain? Do you want this done or not? Yes or no?
He comes out into A&E reception, his trousers around his ankles, he has an erect penis, he says, "Carl, do you want me to stick this up your arse?" And your answer is?
Yes or no?
You're in terrible agony.
He's wearing a condom. He smeared the condom in. I mean, it's not unprotected morphine penile surgery.
Administration.
And what? In and out, done.
Just in and out. Yeah, he just administered your arse takes on the morphine from the Dr. Penis. And it's the only way, really.
In and out.
Yeah, in and out. Up once, okay, and out.
It'll definitely work.
You will. The pain will go away.
No side
It'll
effects.
be pleasurable.
No side
if
effects.
anything.
No side effects. No.
I'd probably call Auntie Nora and ask if she's had it yet.
Can I just return us back to where we started from? Because in Ricky's introduction, he said that modern man, in a sense, with all the technology we have, can play God. And this is something which is huge now. A lot of ethical discussions about things like stem cell research. Should we be interfering in what should be a godly terrain? You say no straight away. Straight away, no.
I think you're sort of like messing about now. I think that's the problem. We've got the tools and they like to use them. And that's what happens. I've got a sander for Christmas, and I can't wait to sand stuff. I can't even think of enough things that need sanding, but I want to use it. And
Not
that's the
scruffy
same,
sander.
and that's the problem, innit? If you've got the tools, you can't have the tools and say, pop them in the shed. Well, no, I don't want to use them. Got a new tool here.
Right.
Sand the shed down.
That's the problem, innit? All these, medical people. That's what happened in the Hulk, isn't it?
Yeah, well, again, that's. I'll just say that is a work of fiction. The Hulk
Yeah, but with all fiction,
comes.
the future.
Yeah,
So,
certainly in science fiction.
But the problem is, this is what I say is the problem. We can sum it up here if you like. I think
Go
it
on.
sums it up.
Go on. No, this is.
Is it a quote from someone?
Well, yeah, it is one for sound bites, and it just saves a lot of time. Carl's quote. You don't have to study the book or anything. So let's sum it up there. We're going to end it here, but we're going to end it with this quote from Carl Pilkington. Carl, shoot me.
People are living too long.
Okay, but that's your summary of medicine.
Well, yeah,
history
it
of
is,
medicine.
because it's kind of now. You see, I agree with medicine to stop pain because it's depressing pain. Stop the pain. I'd say, as soon as we sorted that out, and we started saying, "Do you want a new face?" That's way over the line.
Yeah.
No one should be getting a new face unless they're really disfigured.
Yeah.
But those are the people who are getting new faces.
No, they're not. There's people messing about.
Yeah, no, it's people.
Well, plastic surgery, but that's
yeah.
people's own choice. They're paying for
No,
it.
it's
Up to them.
ridiculous. I know, but
It's not taking it away from other people, is it?
Yeah, it is, because the person who's messing about with someone's face could be doing something
No,
else.
because they're plastic surgeons. They're privately employed.
Yeah, but they shouldn't be. They
are
should
you
be
talking
sorting
about?
someone else out who's got a little funny head. They shouldn't be messing about with
Pushing
someone who's got
himself
nothing wrong with
forward,
them.
trying to get some free treatment.
Get some free
And it
treatment
never
for
looks right anyway. You spend
No.
all that money, it never fits properly.
Yeah, but
No.
this is what annoys me about
Fish
Carly.
lips and that
just looks wrong.
little that stupid little skeletal nose.
You'd be
and
better off changing the head, all of it, rather than messing about with the face, because it never fits properly.
But you've completely, as a form of summary, you have completely gone off tangent.
No,
and
That's
off
not
the
a
mark.
summary yet. Sum up.
Right,
I have one
right,
more go.
so-
This is the real one.
Yeah.
Okay, Carl. Sum up our global guide to medicine. Go.
Today's cure. Today's cure is something like that. It'll be something like today's cure is tomorrow's headache. It's all right,
That's all right.
because what I'm saying there is
Go on.
we can come up with stuff. We can come up with a tablet to get rid of headache. Tomorrow, your headache's gone. Your leg's hurting.
So today's cure is actually tomorrow's leg ache. So today's cure is tomorrow's leg ache.
Yeah, but ages ago I
Go
said
on.
to you, don't solve problems,
Yeah.
because a problem solved is a problem caused.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
I don't remember that quote. But okay, so finally, in summation, what you said was
So, okay,
At the end of
So-
the day, we've all got to die of something.
right.
Now, Albert might come in. I'm a doctor. Right, Albert, how are you today? What's wrong with you today, Albert?
I've got an inflammation of the testicular region.
Right.
Oh, my scrotal sac is all stretchy and swollen. It's pustulating, and it's causing the penis to be all red and inflamed, and that spread to the anus.
Right. Take these tablets.
Right, where do I put them?
Just have them with some water after a bath.
Okay, I'm not gonna have a bath. I can't have a bath of these because honestly, you see these get in a bath and they start bubbling with the.
Yeah, like I say, just take the tablet.
I don't know what it is, but look at it. It's like a mess. It's like quite a mess down there. I can't. Oh,
Take
dear.
the tablets.
Oh,
Take the tablets and come back. In a week's time. Let me know how it goes.
okay.
Right?
right.
Do
So
you know what
let's
it is?
let's imagine that perfectly normal scenario has happened. What is your point?
Right, he'll come back the week after.
Yeah.
The problems downstairs will be sorted. But at the end of the day, he's 76. He's going to have something else wrong with him. I do another check on you, and even though your sack is sorted...
They're not quite right, to be honest.
No, but they're better.
Well, it swings and roundabouts
Yeah,
because
well, that's life. That's life, Albert.
the penis is much more functional. The testicles are really they've lost all their skin. It's just like a bag of spaghetti just hanging on the chair, and the arse. The arse is the itchiest arse I've ever had. I've had to, at some points, I've got blood under my fingernails from scratching my anus. So it's not completely cured.
And this is why no one wants to be a doctor anymore.
The English biologist Thomas Huxley once wrote, "To a person uninstructed in natural history, his country or seaside stroll is a walk through a gallery filled with wonderful works of art, 9/10 of which have their faces turned to the wall. Teach him something of natural history, and you place in his hands a catalogue of those which are worth turning around. To some, the wonders and intricacies of the natural world are a miracle, living proof of the existence of God. To others, the natural world is a wondrous illustration of Darwinian evolution." To discuss the complexities of plant and animal life, I'm joined by Stephen Merchant, graduate of the University of Warwick and award-winning writer.
Thank you so much for having me.
And Carl Pilkington, a man with no qualifications, very little education, but who is now known the world over as a man with a head like a fucking orange.
Right.
Natural history obviously takes in everything to do with animals, plants, bacteria, which are in neither group. I should start by just saying, Carl, that the natural world is so diverse that we don't even know how many species there are. Conservatively, there's 2 million species of animals. I mean, without even taking in plant life, there are at least 2 million species of animal. With plants and animals, there could be up to 10 million species. There are 37,000 different species of spider alone. What do you think of that?
It's a lot.
It is, isn't it?
A lot. But if there's loads of stuff out there that we don't know about, and we don't know what it's doing, is it that important? Is it worth finding them now?
Well, yeah.
Why?
Well, it may give us the key to unlock other mysteries.
A spider won't.
Well, it might do.
A spider won't be unlocking
Well,
any
that-
mysteries.
well, that's totally...
Plants are different. I reckon there's a natural
'cause-
cure for everything out there.
because there's loads of animals that have toxins that are used in medicine.
Yeah, I know that we use dangerous spiders to get rid of headaches or whatever, or they do in the tribes, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to just expand on that point?
It's just that's what they do in tribes.
Who's
They've got
they?
all natural. All these tribes, they've got all natural remedies. They go, what's up with you? You got a sore ankle? Chew on this twig, and it works. I've seen it. They sent women out there, and like they couldn't believe the stuff they can do with twigs and trees and hedgehogs and stuff. I'd
It wasn't
say
an in-depth analysis, was it?
what I'm saying.
Women, they just sent some women out there,
No,
apparently.
Yeah.
I reckon the stuff that's got venom in it that's useful. We probably know about all them because
Which
it's
means it doesn't make any sense. We probably know about all of them.
What I mean is the police know about the gangsters, but
Right.
they go, right, we're aware of them, let
Right.
them get on with it. We'll keep our eye on them. And it's the same in the jungle. These spiders, the deadly ones you're aware of. The ones that are just pottering about, you go, don't even worry about them, don't even give them a name. They're not doing anything.
But what if there's another poisonous spider they haven't identified yet, that lurking in the undergrowth?
I'd be very surprised.
So you'd be very surprised.
I'd be surprised if there was
It
something...
sounds like laziness on your
But
part.
they're
I know,
discovering
it's
new
not.
species all the time.
We know about all the dangerous stuff now, because we have to. We live in a
we
world
don't.
now. We do. We know about a lot of the dangerous stuff. Whenever they find something new now, it's like a
Well,
new
no-
butterfly or...
Well, no, look at AIDS. When I was a kid, no one had ever heard of AIDS.
Yeah, but that's not a natural thing, is it? That's not like a spider or
What do you mean
a
it's not a
lake
natural
ladybird.
thing?
It's not a natural thing. It's not something that's... AIDS hasn't been, like, living under the soil for millions of years going, I'll wait till the 1980s and I'll come out and kill a load of people.
No, but it is a
It's
natural
a new thing. It's new.
Yeah, but loads of animals are new, aren't they? Evolutionary terms. There's new animals in evolution.
I'm sure there's new stuff deep down that's just like, almost like bacteria, sat under the soil, it'll never come to the top. right? It's like having an old woman who's a neighbour. She never goes out, she doesn't bother you. Let her be.
But what if that old neighbour could unlock the secrets to...
I don't think she can.
Just even to us understanding the complexities of the universe, of the way things have developed and grown.
Because we know about it.
Well, why would we know about it? Because I never understand, why is it you want to stop researching and studying now? Why is it that you're happy to just draw a line under everything else? What if people had said this back in the 19th century?
We've done this. I think someone in the 1900s said everything that's going to be invented has been invented, and then look what happened in that century.
Yeah, and I've said to you, look at the stuff that is being invented now. The frisbee and stuff like that. It's all stuff that
Right.
like, you kind of go, it's all right, it's a good idea, but we don't need
Yeah,
it.
but the frisbee wasn't being worked on by the top brains of our generation. That was some novelty toy that some manufacturer made.
Yeah, but it's like, look at the fuss we made over that fella who came up with a Dyson vac. Everyone was like, he's up there with Einstein. Well, he's not. It's a good vac. It cleans up floors well and everything.
Who
but
said he's up there with Einstein?
It's
one of-
PR people.
In one of those programmes where they did, like, great inventions of our time, it was easy early on. You go, Einstein, you know, Newton did this, Archimedes, Dyson. And they started to run out, because it is harder to come up with something new now. Because everything that's needed, remember, the things we've invented are things that we sort of go, we could do with that. Inventors don't sit there going, what can I make? Oh, I need a toaster. They've sat there, they've burnt the toast under the grill, and they've gone, I need some sort of device here.
Well,
that I can
somebody-
put bread in."
yeah.
And what can it do? I'll shake it like
Necessity
that,
is the
and
mother of invention.
Yeah.
However, there are people who sit around going, "Where's a loophole in the market? Where's a
Well,
niche?"
here's something. About a year ago, I came up with a see-through toaster, so that you can see how much the toast is cooked.
Right.
I found it about 2 months after that. Someone had done it. So I'd just been beaten to the post.
Yeah, but all you're really doing, Carl, is
That's-
modifying an existing invention.
What other examples of being pipped at the post are there? It's got to be one that hasn't been done, or it's not your theory,
But
Well,
also something that unlocks a mystery.
or helps the world.
What's causing problems in the world at the moment that needs sorting?
Well, cures for things, faster transport, anything to do with security, anything to do with well-being. You
I
know.
mean, obviously environmental concerns are a big issue. People trying to design automobiles that
Fuel,
can run on different
yeah.
alternative fuels.
I met a bloke on a conference once who sent a drawing to Blue Peter. It was their design a car of the future, and he sent them a drawing that was a car, and the only innovation was that you can have a shit while driving. And then he put shit goes down pipe, which becomes fuel. They must have looked at that and gone, what a maniac.
I think that's a brilliant... I mean, I've driven a long way. I drove to Cornwall recently, and I would have loved...
But I think he did it when he was
built
about
into the
9, and he must have thought, oh, I'm being driven to school. Oh, I need the toilet. Wouldn't it be good?
Well,
if
why
this-
hasn't that been done?
What?
Well, like Steve says, I've been in the same situation when you're driving and you go, oh, where's the service station? You see a sign saying 36 miles.
So what would
You're in agony.
so you suggest pull your trousers down and shit down in the seat that's a toilet?
Yeah, well, what's wrong with that?
Well, you got your nan in your back.
She's got one as well.
So you are going to Cornwall all shitting.
Well, not all the time, but it's more useful to me than a lighter.
So also, at
Where
what
do you
point
wash
do
your
you
hands?
wash your hands or
Yeah.
wipe your arse? At what point does that occur?
Oh,
At the
that's
end of the journey.
Oh, God! So you get in, you have a shit at Deptford, and you wipe your arse at Polperro.
Yeah, but like I've said to you, this isn't like just people going, oh, I think I'll have one. You need one? Not really, but it's something to do, innit? I'm sick of playing I Spy, I'm having a shit. You have it when you really need one. When you have to pull off a motorway, it's a lot of messing about. There's probably going to be a queue at the toilet. No more queues at toilets.
10 minutes, Rick, that takes, doesn't it? 10
know,
minutes
yeah.
to
10
pull off,
minutes.
have a quick shit.
Driving along. It's just going on. It's just going on. Don't even know about it. Radio's on. Everyone's happy. Doesn't matter. I don't know. I mean, we all do it as well. That's the thing.
Anything else you'd come up with? I mean, so far you've come up with nothing. That was a 9-year-old boy's idea.
I mean, the Breville maker wasn't needed.
That's true.
What's the
right.
Breville maker?
It's like toasted sandwiches. But there's so many things, chocolate fountains, anything like that. I just go, what are these? Who's invented these? Who's okayed this idea? And yet I can't have a shit on the motorway.
think of computers.
What about 'em?
Well, I mean, that's in the last few years, you know, 100 years in our existence. Okay, they've been dabbling with anything even close to a computer. Nothing before that.
Yeah, computers are a good thing, and it baffles me as to how they came about. When you think a computer chip is just made out of sand. Now, for someone to come up with that, you go, there must have been some sort of alien involved here.
What do you mean? Why do you think that? So I love it. So the frisbee, rubbish. Anything too clever? Well, it wasn't an invention, it was an alien. So there's nothing between frisbee and computer chip.
What I'm saying is, it's not even an idea, is it?
What do you mean?
A computer chip, where's that come from?
Oh, it's amazing. It's astounding, yeah.
So you think it was an alien? What are you talking about?
Great.
Because I can't believe that someone would go, right, I want to make something that will hold information and be able to do... I know, let's use some sand, we've got loads of that. You go, what, you don't...
Well, that's what genius is, though, isn't it?
There's no alien involved.
No, but when I say alien, I don't mean an alien came down here and said, you know, oh, do you want to buy this? There could have been a spaceship crash, right?
Right, yeah.
And there's all them rumours, isn't there, in that hangar. They've got the spaceship, they take it apart, they go, yeah, wheels, we've got them, yeah, steering wheel. Yeah. And then they go, hang on, what's this here? And they find the chips, and they break it down, and they find it's sand.
But that as an explanation to human genius is nearly as ridiculous as the Adam and Eve explaining life on Earth. How could you tell that to someone without going red? I mean, I always worry about that, where people who believe in Adam and Eve, don't they wish there was a slightly better explanation? With all the evidence we've got, do you know what I mean? With all the evidence for evolution, that they think the Earth is 5,000 years old, and God made Adam out of some dust, and then he went, oh, I need a bird. It's alright, I'll make it out of your rib.
Yeah,
right?
but there's loads of things that you go, oh, this is a bit embarrassing. I bet Charles Darwin, when he said we've all come from apes, I bet he sat at home going... Should I tell him about the frisbee first?
But the fact that sand makes computer chips is not the interesting thing. The interesting thing is how the human being discovered that... what am I talking about? Sand makes computer chips. That silicon can have information put on it. But we're made out of oxygen, nitrogen, carbon... Do you know what I mean? And hydrogen.
Yeah, but that's nature. You see, nature is amazing. You can't beat nature. Right?
No.
It comes up with some amazing things.
Yeah, but man is nature. Don't forget that we're an animal. We're a brilliant ape. Now, it's clear to any sensible, reasonable, educated person that we did evolve from apes, or rather, we had a common ancestry, and that we're closest to the chimpanzee. We're actually 98.6% genetically identical to a chimpanzee, Carl. We're closer to a chimp than a chimp is to a gorilla. Genetically speaking.
I just find that hard to believe when you
Well,
look
I'm telling you it's true, so
No,
what are you finding hard to believe?
Well, your eyes... your own eyes are what sort of comes up with a lot of thoughts.
No. One's eyes don't come up with thoughts.
No,
Two,
but what I'm saying is...
what you mean is
through your own eyes,
you look at things and make up your own
So
decisions.
if there was no Darwin or anything,
Yeah.
and I was sat somewhere, and someone said, right, we're going to bring a few animals in, one of them's related.
Right. They're all related.
Alright, but they're all related to you, but one's not so long ago, alright? And they brought them in, and they lined them up, and there was a chimp stood there, and a gorilla, and what's another one?
Orangutan.
Right, yeah. Right, I go, the orangutan, send that out. I'll be first to go, so he's definitely not linked to me.
See, I disagree, but there we go. That's just looking at you.
Yeah, so the hair colouring, there's none of that in our family.
Well, there's no hair.
I like the fact that it loses out because it's ginger.
So that's gone. Right, so I'm left with a gorilla and a chimp.
Yeah.
I would go for the gorilla.
Well, it's a good
Humanness.
guess, but you'd be wrong. So we are much closer to the chimpanzee, okay? 98.6% genetically identical. Think of that. We only differ on 1.4% of our genetic makeup.
That must be the arse. Because that's a lot different.
Animal rights is a hot topic.
It's a big issue.
What rights should they have? How do they compare to humans? You know, it's a well-known fact that we test on animals with the assumption that humans are more important. We test drugs on animals, and we're basically saying if they die, they die. We'll learn something from them. People do make distinctions between animals, right? They know that it's probably more acceptable to kill an ant than...
Punch a cow.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I think that comes again from how close are they to humans? Have they got a face?
But that's
are they furry?
I told you, didn't I, about me dad's mate who had a monkey and he had to thump it.
What? Well, there's two things there. One, why did he have a monkey? Two, what sort of discipline is thumping a monkey? What was the monkey doing?
He was annoying his wife a lot and sort of, you know, pinching her arse and stuff like that.
Right,
No,
right.
that's
Wait a
not
minute.
true.
We've
It's not
never
true.
heard this before. How have we had all these years
I'm
of
sure I
monkeys and
told
we've
you
never
about
heard this
it ages
before?
ago.
Your dad had a mate who had a monkey?
Yeah, I'm sure I told you.
Why did he have a monkey? Just for a laugh?
Well, it was back in the day when people did. They all had, like, odd, sort of pets and that, didn't they? In, like, about 68.
Oh,
1968.
1968, when everyone had a monkey.
But he had to thump it. Now, the weird thing is...
No, that's weird enough.
Is this is all the story? This is the entire story?
No.
You've got, all the information you've got is he had a monkey and he had to thump it?
Yeah, my dad told me about it. When he found out that
thumped a
I was
monkey?
into monkeys, he said, oh, Benny thumped one. And,
Benny thumped one. Oh, my son's into natural history, particularly simian variety. I've got an interesting fact for you, Carl. Sit down. What is it, Peter? Benny thumped one. Brilliant.
But what was interesting is the way that people are thumping other people all the time. No one bats an eyelid. Thump a monkey. People go, you thumped a monkey.
Yes, they do. They do go. You thumped a monkey.
So that's what's weird, isn't it?
What, this chimp doesn't want to be caged and kept in a fucking council house in
No,
Manchester.
it was quite happy. And if
It
he wants to
wasn't
live like a
happy.
human... I mean, in the 70s, you know, there were all the teabag adverts and all that, and they were loving that.
No, they
Then
weren't
people
loving it.
interfere, people go, that's unfair. Now they're in like a cage in a zoo. You're going, it was better when I was pushing a piano up a stairs.
They weren't really.
They weren't actual delivery men.
They weren't really sitting down and having a cup of tea.
It wasn't a documentary. A week in the life of the monkey delivery men.
I love that. Chimps in a zoo now going. Okay, now at least we were free.
Remember when we used to drive a van?
And
for a
we're
living?
on 58 quid a week.
Yeah.
They're not meant to be kept in a house in Manchester. It's cruel to keep a person in a house in Manchester, so it's fucking cruel to keep a monkey.
Are you aware, Carl, that 99% of all forms of life that have existed on Earth are now extinct?
So there's only 1% of everything that's ever been still alive.
Yeah.
But that's just as well, isn't it?
Why?
Well, I think it's pretty crowded now. So it's just as well. You see, this is what I'm saying now. Years ago, they accepted that. Cavemen wouldn't have been going, oh, we're losing stuff's dying. Whereas now, everyone's, oh, the panda, polar bears, not got any ice, and all that. At the end of the day, the world's only so big, we know it's not getting any bigger. Right? Stuff's got to die, hasn't it? You can't keep everything.
Just think of that, though, as a tool of natural selection, that the species that are surviving today are 1%. Just how amazing that is
Ooh,
to
he's a big
survive
boy.
and evolve. How perfect everything is on Earth. It's amazing.
No, but it'll drop off again, won't it? As we find in new stuff, other stuff will be dying.
Well,
In
things
that
happen.
1%, when that was written, when that statement was made, was the dodo gone or was it still here?
It was.
I'm pretty
it
certain
was
the
gone.
dodo was gone.
It was gone already.
It doesn't matter, though, does it? A percentage is a percentage.
Yeah, the dodo went. The last dodo died. They said
Yeah.
that was the last dodo. No
Yeah.
more dodos. But we found
This Dido. Still making great
Great
tunes.
albums, great albums.
Great,
Although
yeah. We lost the Dodo, but we've got Dido.
a recent album's not sold very well, actually.
I've heard it's
dying
doing.
out. Dying out. Everything has a lifespan.
Dido's dying out.
But and I think that's life. So it's not amazing, really.
That's
That
not
is-
alive anymore.
No, that's not alive. That's life's gone.
That's gone.
That was good.
What else?
Esther Ranson forced to just die out in the jungle. now.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
When I went to Natural History Museum, there was a thing called Cytherea or something. Right, died out ages ago. No one knows about them, which is weird because everyone knows about the dodo.
Well,
Yeah.
that's because it died out in, I think, was it 18th century or something, wasn't it?
Well, you know, within what might term recent history.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this thing's sort of. I don't think it was far behind it. It's just timing, isn't it? That got more press, the dodo. The Scytheree, or whatever it's called. It was a big thing. It was
Well,
a cross.
you've seen it, and you still don't know what it's called.
Well, it's spelled awkwardly. But it's but they said it was a cross between a moose and a giraffe. Now we don't need that, do we? At no point have we said, "Do you know what we need here to get us through this?"
Well, that's funny because when they first named the giraffe, they called it the camelopard because they thought it was a cross between a camel and a leopard.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that when zoologists examined a platypus for the first time, some of them thought it might have been a hoax, because they thought it could have been different parts of different animals sewn together. Because the platypus has the fur of an otter, the tail of a beaver, the bill and feet of a duck, and the venomous spurs of a fighting gamecock. So they assumed that it
It's
must
like
have
a
been a
scrappy
hoax.
challenge of animals.
Yeah, I remember, right?
But they actually...
Sorry, go on,
say,
sorry.
well, just to clarify that, it actually is descended from a link between reptiles and mammals almost 150 million years ago, a sort of living fossil.
When I was about 13, 14, I once tried to improve the animal kingdom by making the hardest animal ever, the most perfect animal.
Now, just to clarify, you didn't, in sort of Frankenstein style,
No.
try and bolt various bits of animals together.
It was a drawing that I sent to Blue Peter. There was no competition going on.
You just thought they would be appreciated.
I thought they'd look at that and they'd go, well, he's a genius.
Yeah.
This is like Da Vinci.
Sure.
And this is the animal. This is what I thought, the perfect animal. I mean, when I say perfect, I meant the hardest animal. This animal, it could take anything. It was just the strongest, hardest, fastest. Right.
Yeah.
So, I started with the head of a lion.
Of course, that makes
Do you know what I mean?
sense.
Roar, it looks good. Roar, bite you, right? Okay. I popped that on the body of a rhinoceros.
Okay, so it's got the toughness, the armour, if you like.
It's full strength. Head of a lion. Think of that. So you've got this picture. Head of a lion, body of a rhino.
Perfect.
Okay? Hold on, though. Pop some arms on it. The front arms were the arms of a gorilla.
The arms of a gorilla.
So it
okay.
could punch, grip, it could make stuff. The lion, I mean, that's where the lion falls down, because it can't make stuff.
Sure.
It can't climb, you know. So, okay then, wait a minute. You think that's got enough weaponry?
Sounds like it.
No. Pop on the tail of a giant scorpion.
A giant scorpion?
Yeah, yeah.
So a
it's
scorpion that's the
so
size of a rhinoceros?
exactly, so the tail was as long as that lion. So now this is a scary animal.
Yeah.
And this is where the animal fell down. I thought, right, legs. Well, the fastest animal is the cheetah.
Cheetah.
Popped on 4 cheetah legs.
4 cheetah legs.
It would have collapsed.
Crushed under
It
the
would have
weight of the
collapsed
rhinoceros.
immediately. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you drew this, did you?
Drew it, yeah.
Did you show it to anyone other
Yeah,
than
my
the-
mates went, that's brilliant.
Right.
They said, that's brilliant.
And then just sent straight to Blue Peter.
Yeah.
Any reply?
No reply at all.
Really?
No reply at all.
Surprised.
What do you think of that, Carl? What would you? How would you do? What would if you wanted to make the ultimate fighting animal? What would you come up with? If you had the power, like that fella in Arabian Nights, size of a chimpanzee, you could change into anything, but you could change into, you know, like that.
I don't
But
think I'd go for strength and that. I'd go for survival.
What would you do? Cockroach.
I'd have like an armadillo's body.
Right. Okay. So that's as big as you can be now, then. So you can't really pop on a lion's head because it'd just lay there going, I can't fucking move.
All right. I'd have head of an owl.
Right.
The head of an owl?
Yeah. Why? Come on. Why? What does that bring to the table?
The head's there to sort of make it look friendly to the
make it look
human
friendly.
race. So
Okay.
because if you look half decent to the human race, they'll look after you.
Right.
That's the way it works.
Yeah.
Isn't it? With a
Okay.
cat and a dog and all that.
Okay.
So the owl makes it look nice.
Right.
I'd have. I wouldn't have legs. I'd go for like the slug juice.
What do you think? So now you're a really slow-moving, legless armadillo with the head of an owl.
Slithering along. How
Yeah.
is that going to be friendly? They'll see the beautiful face, but then they'll be terrified by the sludge.
No, because the head's that nice that they'll forgo the sludge.
But hold on though. But wait a minute. So it's got this thing that's stuck, right, going at 0.1 miles an hour, with it going right. You come over, you kick the head off. How is this?
No,
a
because the head
survival?
can go into the thing like a tortoise.
Can it?
Yeah, of course it can. Into the armadillo body.
Well, no, an armadillo doesn't do that.
It just curls up into a ball.
This isn't an armadillo, is it?
So it's. Oh,
Why has it got this like? Why is that
Because
so
what
attractive?
I'm thinking is an armadillo. They're good when they're on their feet. Flip them, they get stuck, like a tortoise.
Right.
Slug stuff keeps it down. So if anything attacks it, it's like a limpet or one of them things that can.
Why
block
have a
stuff.
limpet then?
But it can't get any. How it can barely move. It can
Just
hardly
go
get
and
anywhere.
kick it.
What do you mean it can't get
But how can
anywhere?
it escape from danger? It's going to move very
rubbish.
slowly.
No, because
What, that's the
it'll
worst
lock
animal.
itself in. It'll lock itself in.
Yeah, and then I just scoop it up on the
You
sack.
can't scoop it up. It locks itself in if it's in danger. I'd give it peacock feathers.
This is the worst animal
Why
I've
has it got
ever
peacock
heard.
feathers?
Again, it's just
the worst animal I've ever heard.
Why has it got peacock feathers?
threatening. It looks more threatening.
It
That's
do-
what
what,
peacock
that's the
feathers do.
least threatening thing, peacock feathers. It's like Danny LaRue coming at you. There's
Yeah.
nothing remotely scary about peacock
Yeah,
feathers.
to humans, but
Yeah.
the humans
These
won't be
animals
harming it
fucking
because they like the
amazing.
owl head. People will like to have these things in the garden. They eat lettuce.
They eat lettuce. They eat Why has it got a beak? They eat lettuce. He's telling them what it's going to eat now. The owl's going, fuck that, I want a mouse. I love the fact that he's based what it eats on the fact that how it moves a bit like a slug.
Yeah.
They'd eat lettuce. It moves that and they'd eat lettuce.
Like I said, it's not that weird if that existed. If that was normal, that when you went out to empty your bin, there was one of them sliding up the wall.
Ah, shit.
You wouldn't even double take. It'd just be like, oh, there's the owl head peacock feathered thing.
I don't know why it's climbing walls in an effort to find lettuce.
Yeah, why is it climbing up that wall?
Because that's the only way it can see properly. Because its head's coming out like that.
So even though you've designed this animal, now you're even expanding
got
its limitations.
problems.
Well,
Now
it's
got
mainly
problem.
made as to be on walls. 'Cause what else is living on walls?
Oh, God. Oh, fucking hell. What a useless animal that is. Carl, I mean.
But nature chucks up odd things, doesn't it?
Don't. Why are we starting on this again?
No, I'm just saying that is nature. Now and again, you'll get stuff that.
Oh, was he looking at you?
Yeah.
Was he?
Look at his fucking head. Look at his stupid round fucking orangey head and oh.
Why aren't you a freak? You got a little bald head. We're not meant to be bald.
Well, I was, I think. That's the thing. That's what nature's done. You see, I didn't do anything with my hair when I had hair. I didn't style it, I didn't do anything with it, and it probably thought, what am I doing here? Whereas people who love their hair, and they comb it and have different styles and look after it, they have hair for ages.
Nonsense.
No, nonsense. Absolute
Well,
nonsense.
well, you're saying that.
Absolute
Well,
nonsense.
it's a little bit weird, then, isn't it? And that's what happens with old people. Once they lose their, will to live, once they lose the job, they get old. What's my purpose? What am I doing here?
Jesus.
And it's like nature goes,
I
you're not
really
needed.
didn't want him to
and
sit
you
on me
die.
again.
Maybe that's what happened with the dodo. What's it doing? Can't fly. Its wings are
I see.
useless. Eat it. Tastes horrible. Kill it.
No, they did eat
Nature.
it. I think they did eat
Yeah,
it.
but it wasn't very nice, was it?
I think they overfarmed it. I think that's why it was extinct. Because they did eat it.
No, but they did eat it, but they didn't like it. Everybody, you never saw like a fully eaten carcass of a dodo.
You're
It always
making this
be
up
half
again.
eaten.
I need
All
to get
conjecture.
my,
No, but they didn't eat it all.
template
Everybody would
machine.
probably try it and go, it's not for me, that.
But you don't know
No
this.
idea,
You
he's
don't
just
know
making
this.
it up.
What's this based on? The
just-
people... And also, why would that kid it out?
Because I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because if it's not nice, people don't get another one in. And they die out. The reason we've got loads of chickens and loads of cows is because we eat them. If we ate polar bears, we wouldn't be short of them. Because you'd farm it, you'd take more care, but what's a polar bear doing? Sat on a block of ice floating about. It's no use to us, is it? It sounds harsh.
Once
but it's
again,
no
got
use.
his information from a Glacier Mint
No,
advert.
but it's no use to us. We know they're there, and it's all very sad when you see them on the news sort of struggling and all that.
Yeah.
But it's going to make them stronger.
If scientists could bring back to life the creatures that have existed in the past, do you think that's a good idea or a bad idea?
Bad idea.
Bad idea?
Yeah.
Now, leaving aside the horrors of Jurassic Park, do you think, for research purposes, it might be a useful idea?
I don't think it is. For me, it's like a friends reunited. It's like people who you knew ages ago getting back in touch, and you go, I don't want to get in touch with you. That was then, and it's the same with a mammoth. That was then. You had your day. It didn't work out. Now to bring it back, it's unfair. You're messing with nature anyway. I think I've said to you before about I don't know what they do with them. They're massive things. I think it's like they're just not thinking about it. It's like rushing into buying furniture. That's massive. And then you get it back and you can't get it through the door.
No,
And it'll be like that with a mammoth. Where are you putting them? Oh, I didn't think of that.
But what about if you could say you could feed the third world with mammoth meat?
But what's wrong with we've got loads of cows and stuff. Why do they need a mammoth? No one even knows what it tastes like. Imagine that. You bring it back and you've got another dodo on your hands.
No,
People go,
but-
this is horrible.
Well, they used to eat them because again, what humans found out is they could take down a mammoth, but they got greedy and they found out they could chase them, and so they'd go over an edge of a cliff. And what they did, they went crazy and they used to herd them and they'd all die, but of course then they'd waste the meat because they couldn't eat it all.
Yeah. Well, that's. I think that's why we shouldn't bring them back because they are too big. So even if
Didn't hear a word of what you said then, didn't you?
no, I did. Everyone can eat them, but the problem is they're so big that you couldn't eat it quick enough, so it all went off.
Yeah, but I was saying that they killed too many at once.
Yeah, I know. No, I heard that. I heard that. But what I'm saying is, why not bring back an animal that's smaller, manageable for everyone?
Yeah.
That's why the chicken is perfect. Out of all the animals, perfect. Good size, feeds a family of 4. Whilst it's alive, it's giving you eggs.
I agree.
So it tastes nice.
But it doesn't if you think it's not having a good life. If suddenly said to me, I stopped eating it because I found out about how badly they were treated like 10 years ago, and at least I have organic. And honestly, eating an animal that's been tortured doesn't taste nice. Foie gras would make me vomit. The thought of it, the evil involved in torturing a goose because the liver tastes slightly better. I mean, where does it end?
I think if they're looked after, they don't want to die. The ones in a nice warm little, hut, being fed lovely food, you're going, right, we're going to cut your head off, and they're probably like, oh, God, I'm going to miss this. I'm loving this life. Whereas the one sat in its own shit's going, have me first, I'm sick of it. There's different ways of looking at it.
Good point. So what you're saying is, give animals a bad life, torture them, and they'll be happy when you eat them. Brilliant.
But we've ordered we've ordered a turkey.
Right.
It's way too big. So I don't know what we're going to do with it. And it's worrying me now, actually. It'll be nice on Christmas Day, but it's my job to look after the kitchen and everything, tidy up. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it all.
The fact that he's been given a job to make him worthwhile. Really, it's like a little home.
No, but a chicken. Your chicken.
Arthur, you're washing up today, aren't you? Yeah. Arthur's job.
And that's the problem with a mammoth. I think the idea of it's probably quite pleasant. You go, oh, that's something new to try out. But afterwards, when you've got to tidy it up and stick it in cling film, you'll be going, how much of this have we got? So I wouldn't bring back the mammoth.
Brilliant.
Charles Darwin, of course, once said, I cannot persuade myself that a beneficent and omnipotent God would have created parasitic wasps with the express intention of their feeding within the living bodies of caterpillars. His point being that, creatures and their reproductive cycles are so complicated, so intricate, so bizarre, that alone is proof of the non-existence of God. Where do you stand on that?
It's pretty weird. We talked about it ages ago, didn't we, about the wasp that has a thing growing in it and all that.
Oh my
Laser
god,
said
really?
a spider.
Come on, you
Yeah,
wimp.
and then the spider goes mad, doesn't it?
You fucking can't lay your eggs in me, you fucking stripy wanker. Goes absolutely fucking mad.
It is weird.
what's going out my arse in a couple of you fucking...
I don't know how it found out that that's what it had to do. That's the amazing thing, isn't it?
Well, it didn't, did it?
It just did it.
No, I know, but when I say found out, I mean it just did it.
Well, it's like mimicry, when they say mimicry, that there's a poisonous snake, and then a snake comes along that looks a bit like it that's not poisonous, but people go, oh, careful, it's poisonous. That snake didn't go, I'm gonna strain, and I'm gonna try and look like Scary over there. Some were born that looked a bit like Scary, and they survived.
You know?
It's just being chosen.
But that's changing now, isn't it? The fact that, like, when them frogs came out, that are dangerous, they were just dangerous.
What frogs came out? What?
Some frogs in the jungle somewhere that were, like, pretty dangerous.
Yeah, from Mattel, Dangerous Frogs in the Jungle.
Yeah.
But people didn't know that they were dangerous. And they were going about killing loads of stuff. Anyway.
They weren't going, no, they don't go around killing loads of stuff.
Nature said, this is a bit unfair. Make them orange. So then, the frogs that were orange were dangerous, but you got a warning. It was a bit more fair. Nature said if they're going to go about being dangerous, make them orange, make them stand out. In a jungle, orange stands out in all the green, right? So people went, there's an orange frog, stay away. Then over time, nature went, right, what's happened here now? Everyone knows the orange frog's dangerous. Birds aren't eating it because they know it's dangerous. People are avoiding it. They don't even need the poison, it's just the orange it needs. So now you've got a load of frogs that are orange, not even deadly. People go, is that a deadly orange one, or is it a friendly one? Well, best to leave it.
Again, it's explained my point, but took 30 times as long over.
But
it.
also,
But
in his
listen,
head-
let me finish what I was going to say. But what's interesting with all that is, evolution has taught stuff to lie. Because that orange frog isn't deadly, it's going about like it's the big I am.
Yeah.
You could squash it with your hand, you can't do anything. But evolution
He's swaggering around.
has made it lie. So lying is part of evolution.
But it's not lying, is it?
What do you mean?
Wow.
It's got no
But the
poison.
interesting thing about, like a toad that secretes a poison is that often it's no good for it as an individual, but it's good for the species as a whole, because someone will come along and chew it. Now, that toad might well die, but that fox is sick, and it doesn't eat another one. So it's sort of saving the species.
Yeah, but at the same time, the dodo tasted rubbish. Everybody said,
You-
don't
you-
eat one
we
of them
don't know
again.
that. We don't know that.
Dodo.
We don't know that. We don't know.
I have read it. I've read that they don't taste very nice. But it didn't
Why
stop
doesn't it
dying
taste very
out.
nice?
It's
Why
just in the same way that chicken's nicer than duck. You can't all have nice tasting flesh. Pork's alright, but I prefer beef.
Point proven. Good night.
So what I'm saying is, with the dodo, it did taste horrible, but everyone wanted to give it a go. Meanwhile, it's different people trying it, so it died out in the end
Oh,
anyway. So
God.
your theory of a frog being poisonous and a fox going, yeah, that's horrible, I won't eat another one of them. Then you get another fox trying one, and another fox. They don't all have a word with each other, do they? They go, I had a rotten frog the other night. So it's pointless. It's a pointless
rotten frog.
exercise.
What I like is your image of nature. This idea that sort of, in your head, there's Mother Nature sat around like a boardroom table,
Yeah.
making these decisions. People are coming in, oi, frog, what's been going on? Well, I've been poisoning people. Why? What about you? It's just, you just picture everything as one large
Your
reason.
confusion is that you still think of evolution has a will. You still believe that things are striving to be something else, as opposed to
brilliant.
surviving if they adapt or change. I just want to go through some of the wonderful
Bored him.
diversity of nature, some of the incredible feats of the animal kingdom, in a way. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Alligators and old people have something in common. They can hear notes only up to 4,000 vibrations a second.
I don't know what you're meant to do with that information. When's that ever come in handy? When a band's getting together, they don't go, no, we're after crocodiles and old people. What sort of tune do they like? It's pointless.
You're not impressed, okay. Scientists have applied electrodes to the pleasure centre in a rat's brain. The rat pressed a lever 48,000 times over a full day in order to receive that shock that seemed to him pleasurable, choosing the simulator instead of having
time
water
for
or
a disc.
food or sex. So it chose that virtual pleasure, well, not virtual pleasure, it gave it real pleasure, but an artificial stimulus rather than the real thing, like food or water
It
or
never
sex.
ate and had water. It never had a change.
No, it was addicted. It loved this electrode. It was giving it. It just made it feel good. It was getting as much pleasure from that as the real thing, from sex or food.
Yeah, but with any pleasure, you get sick of it, don't you? If you have too much of it.
Well, it had 48,000 hits in a day.
But I like having a Twix. But if I have more than 4 a week, I go, I've ruined that little pleasure I used to like.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, what did you do the second day?
No,
Did you go
but-
near the machine the second day?
No.
There you
because-
go then.
No. But what you're saying is this, right? That Twix is failing to give you pleasure on that 5th Twix, but this succeeds every time because it's literally pleasure. It hits the part of the brain that says this is pleasurable.
So,
But
my pleasure nerve that you're talking about in my head, it lights up when I have a Twix.
I don't think it ever lights up.
Right.
I don't think you've got a pleasure nerve.
But it lights up when I have a Twix.
Right.
It lights up if there's something if there's some chicken, right? It lights up if there's a,
What a miserable cunt he is.
you know, all loads of things.
Chicken and Twix.
That's
No.
it. That's all he lives for.
No.
Hang yourself, mate.
So, what you're saying is, if I had that device that the rat's got,
Yeah.
I'd just sit there, wouldn't I, hitting it, thinking, I can't be bothered going to the shop for a Twix, I'll just hit this button.
Yeah. Think of this. So aggressive is the horned frog of Argentina that people believe that if the frog bites the lip of a horse, the horse will die. Actually, the frog's mouth contains no poison. It earned its fearsome reputation because it attacks animals many times its size. What do you think of a frog
It's
attacking
ridiculous.
a horse?
I don't know what's going on. I don't know why that would happen. Why is he getting upset with a horse? Of all the things for a frog to be, like, getting cocky with, them two should never even meet.
Why?
Because it's not, I mean, fights are normally over something, aren't they?
Yeah.
If you have a fight with someone, you're in my yard, or, you
Yeah.
know, you're fighting over something. A horse
I
and a
love the fact
frog.
that he immediately goes back to the 1930s.
Yeah.
You're in my yard.
But a horse and a frog, how did that disagreement
What are they
happen?
swapping over?
I don't understand what they've got in common. I don't understand it. I bet that's only happened once. It's a rare incident. Someone's to put that in a book. I can't imagine it. That's happening a lot. That horses are being bit by frogs all over the shop.
Oh, God. I saw this trailer for this documentary that said the man who's having a baby. And I turned on, and it's a woman going through a sex change, and she's pregnant. That's not a man having a baby. That's a woman having a beard.
Having a breakdown.
Why is that? That's a con. That is pure sense. It's a man having a baby. Look, world's first. No, it's a woman. It's a woman. What do you think of that? What would you do for your doctor? And I came to you and went, Carl, listen, I'm having a bit of a rethink of these. The penis, I hate it. I hate this cock.
But what do you mean you hate it?
I hate it. I don't want it there. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. It just sits there resting on these fucking awful testicles that I'm going to get rid of. I want this thrown away.
Yeah, well, it's, you know, they're not a great look. I know that. Everyone knows that. It's just the way they are. I mean, if we're all being honest, they're an odd design. I don't think anyone likes their own, do they? That's why we cover them. They're not a great thing, are they?
What? It's not why we cover them, though, is
It's
it?
part of it, I think. I think deep down, I mean, even if, like, I know you hate the Adam and Eve thing, but even if back then he was like, good God, cover them up. Even he had a leaf on.
No, but listen. So, are you thinking fundamentally, then, that aesthetically, the testicles and the penis isn't as good as it could be? What would you have there instead?
Well, it's designed that way because that's the way it's got to be designed. It's more about function than
Yeah.
and that's the thing, isn't it? With modern technology,
You need, you know, the thing is the testicles have to be outside because they have to be a few degrees below body temperature.
yeah.
Otherwise, the Sertoli cells die, which sort of feed the semen and all that. So, they, you know, to be functioning and sort of like fertile, they have to be outside, which is annoying because I'd put a little rib cage around them, like that. I'd pop a rib cage round those, protect them, wear a cricket box, have that built in, so
Give me more
you
balls.
cannot get a swift kick in the bollocks that
but
makes you
it'd
feel
be
sick.
but it'd be better if they could sort of reverse up in a way that they were hidden away,
Yeah.
so that they were just then you dropped them. It's like, right, we need to cool them down. Be at it in about half an hour.
Yeah.
Zzz, drop them down.
Yeah, like the gear on an aeroplane, landing gear. Yeah, and landing gear down, and the bollocks and the cooling down. Or you could just pop them in the fridge for 10 minutes.
It's
Well,
like
they
the-
could detach and you could pop them in the fridge. Cool
Yeah.
down.
Can you make me some breasts?
easy.
Okay. Go on, you say easy. What are you gonna do? What's your plan?
Just how do you do that? It's tablets, isn't it?
No, but
Testosterone, isn't it?
testosterone. Toblerone. I want some Toblerone.
Well, sort of pointy tits, like Madonna.
Where do you stop though? Supposing I came to you and said, Doctor, listen, I like the bollocks,
Testosterone.
I like the penis, but I don't like them where they are. I want them.
Get some pointy
I want
tits
them in the
like
middle of my
Madonna.
chest, I want breasticles. Yeah? The arse, I don't like it round the back. I can't see what's going on. Pop that on the front where the bollocks were. I want my arse where I can look down and see what's going on. Can you do it?
I think it's just easier to move the head, isn't it?
Rick, I know you're a big fan of Professor Richard Dawkins, the evolutionary biologist. He wrote a book, The Ancestor's Tale, in which he predicted a post-human world. This was his, his kind of hypothesis, if we were well, let me read what he's written. If nuclear war destroys humanity and most of the rest of life, a good bet for survival in the short term and for evolutionary ancestry in the long term is rats. I have a post-Armageddon vision. We and all the other large animals are gone. Rodents emerge as the ultimate post-human scavengers. They gnaw their way through New York, London and Tokyo, digesting spilled larders, ghost supermarkets and human corpses, and turning them into new generations of rats and mice, whose racing populations explode out of the cities and into the countryside. When all the relics of human profligacy are eaten, populations crash again and the rodents turn on each other, and on the cockroaches scavenging with them. In a period of intense competition, short generations perhaps with radioactivity-enhanced mutation rates boost rapid evolution. With human ships and planes gone, islands become islands again, with local populations isolated, save for occasional lucky raftings. Ideal conditions for evolutionary divergence. Within 5 million years, a whole range of new species replace the ones we know. Herds of giant grazing rats are stalked by saber-toothed predatory rats. Given enough time, will a species of intelligent cultivated rats emerge? Will rodent historians and scientists eventually organise careful archaeological digs and through the strata of our long compacted cities reconstruct the peculiar and temporally tragic circumstances that gave ratkind its big break?
Carl, thoughts?
I mean, who knows what's going to happen?
Well, that's about it for the second in the series of the Ricky Gervais Guide to. That was Natural History.
I think we've left no stone unturned there, Rick.
I think that is a definitive work. If you've enjoyed the Ricky Gervais Guide to Natural History, why not go back and listen to the Ricky Gervais Guide to Medicine, if you haven't already, or even if you have, because it'd be revision. You know what I mean?
There will be a test.
There won't be a test.
There won't be a test.
We can't be bothered.
No.
And next in the series is the Ricky Gervais Guide to the Arts. Look forward to
just
that.
clarify, that's the arts.
Yeah.
Right.
Not the arse.
Sorry, just
yeah,
because
the
the way you speak.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you should never go away. People speak your words all.
Yeah, well, no, but just be clear.
Well, no, but you
Be clear.
clearly you're not being clear, aren't you? You're making dumb, bumbling fool. And we won't even get on to Carl Pilkington. Dopey twat. Anyway, thank you very much from me, Ricky Gervais, with me, Stephen Merchant.
Goodbye.
And Carl Pilkington.
All right.
Oh, chimpanzee that!
Oh, you'll like this one.
Puzzle.
What I've found is found out like a lot of monkeys' names. Like that's how I found out about Oliver.
Yeah.
What do you mean you found out a lot of monkeys' names?
Well, there's a lot of monkeys out there, and you think they're just called monkey and what have you, but they're all given names, right? So this one that I found about, bit of a weird name anyway. It's actually called Crap. Its name, right? And
how
So,
fun is the
they're not born with
arrow?
those names. It's not like their parents give them those names. You know, they're just chimps. Yeah.
Well, this one, right? And
It's called crap.
yeah, I know. Right, but do you know what it's famous for?
What crap?
Yeah,
Go on.
Is it involved with this show?
it's the first monkey to have its name tattooed on its head.
Yeah, again, I will say not by choice. There is no way that a chimp would go down to Camden Lock and go, are you a registered tattooist? I am,
Oh,
yes.
please,
Yeah,
what?
yeah, it's the
Then
cleanest,
Hitler,
yeah. Okay,
Can I have a look through your book?
Can I have a look through your book? I'm looking for something quite gothic, but, I'd like,
Maybe that's a bit better.
What's your name? Crap. Oh, I'm not sure I can do that because you're not drunk, are you? I have another drink. I have another drink. I've had some Mbongo, and that's all. But no. What are you talking about? The first monkey to have its name tattooed on its head. What are you talking about,
There's got to
Carl?
be more information. Don't tell me you're leaving it there. There's got to be more information.
that was it, and then I read it thinking, well, that's weird, because that means there's loads of monkeys with tattoos on their head, if that's the first one.
No, it could be still the only one.
First and only.
Yeah, but would they report that?
What do you mean, would they report it? This isn't the Washington Post you're reading. This is mentalists who do websites about themselves every day.
What? There's got to be a third
Why is
act
that
to that
news?
story.
Why is that news?
Oh.
How did you come across that?
Well, you
First nut monkey with tattoo head, I mean, what are you talking about?
But why did it have its name tattooed on its head?
It didn't say that. I mean, yeah, I know, it's mad. But he didn't say why.
Was that enough for you, though? Did you feel satisfied having read that? Did you not have other
I mean,
questions?
there's no way that is in the Guinness Book of Records. There's no way that is cited in the Guinness Book of
I
Records.
just read it as like, what a weird name for a monkey. And then, ooh, you won't have that on your head.
What would be a good name for a monkey?
I don't know, anything but that, really.
Yeah.
Dave.
Ted. But,
Ted.
what do you think of that then?
Well, I don't know what to think about it, because I don't know what you're telling me. I don't know that that's news, I don't know that it's true. I mean, I don't know where to start with that. Oh, chimpanzee that!
Right, I don't know how recent this was,
Oh, God. 17th century?
but it happened in Hackney, right? If you're outside London, that's in that place in London. And it's this monkey that's going about Hackney, nicking DVDs.
Even the monkey didn't go for videos. Even the monkey knew, well, videos, no point getting on VHS.
The Grudge on VHS.
You're having it. Do it back.
Right, and there's a girl called Lisa who works in our office here, right, and I mentioned it to her because she lives in Hackney. I said, you familiar with this? And she said, oh, I remember something about it, which annoyed me. The fact that a monkey's running riot, but she didn't know the full
serious,
story,
bro?
and she lives there.
What do you mean a monkey?
Oh
do you
my
mean a chimpanzee? Or a monkey?
I don't know, is there a zoo in Hackney? Is there a zoo there? I don't know what sort it was, but it was like...
Is there a zoo in Hackney?
I don't know, that's what I was asking.
So, right, get on with the story.
So anyway, yeah, it's been robbing stuff, and the other bit that really puzzled me, right, is the fact that
And you're not easily puzzled by monkey news?
they took fingerprints. What do you think about that?
Well, they took fingerprints, presumably because they didn't know it was a monkey to start with.
No, they did. They saw it, nicking stuff, and they said, get fingerprints. So that means there's more than just one doing it.
I'm gonna have a heart
He had to fax them to Interpol.
Yeah. We know that is, yeah. It's Brian the monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, I
that's-
don't understand. He was stealing DVDs, specifically DVDs.
DVDs, I think it's of watches and stuff.
What, breaking into homes?
Yeah, in Hackney. Maybe.
Are you sure it was?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
The
The
kid with
old
the mask on?
No,
YouTube
seriously.
decided
How
to
is he
shit
breaking
itself
into
now
homes?
for randomly
You
no
could-
reason. Fucking... I don't know why it struggles so much.
Up the drain pipe. They're good, aren't they? They're good, aren't they?
Let's try that.
But how would they do
So
that?
is that the news?
Well, how much do you want
Is that monkey news?
for this week?
Well, I don't know that it's true.
Yeah, see, it's still fucked.
Again, I've got nothing to...
There was other stuff. There was another story
Why?
that I found about a monkey, but I would like
What's
to
wrong
know
with
from
you?
someone
It's
if
literally
in
got fucking buffer there. Piece of shit, Edge. Like, it couldn't be using any less fucking resources.
If do you know what I mean? And I missed that one on Crime Watch, which would have been good, right? But there was another story about one that kept getting on buses, not paying its fare, and just sat in a corner reading the paper.
Alright, jump on, mate.
Reading the paper, Carl. You're an idiot.
Well, that wasn't in London.
You're an idiot.
That was in America.
It wouldn't read the paper. Why would it read the paper?
Because it was its way of sort of going, oh well, if I'm reading something, maybe the inspector.
The inspector won't notice my hairy hands.
Oh, Carl, you're such a fool!
Well,
Pillerton. Carl
We've just had
Pillerton.
a news flash that an infinite number of monkeys in Hackney are nicking an infinite number of typewriters.
Yeah.
We don't know what for. At this stage, we've got no more information.
And they've taken back an infinite amount
Yeah, fuck it.
of graduate on video. This is rubbish.
Crash soon anyway. Give me.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news night.
Excellent. Good. So we'll sort of get some monkey experts on maybe next week to dissect it.
right. You ready?
Yeah.
Right. There's this monkey. Right?
Oh, yeah.
It's called Jack. Right. I got pally with this bloke who worked in a railway station.
How? Pen pals?
I don't know. It didn't say all that. I'm just
On the
telling you.
internet.
I'm shortening
Chat
it.
rooms on the internet.
So, anyway, he's helping him out all the time. It's this fella's job, right, to sort of make sure it's safe for the trains to come in, that sort of thing, right? But he's always working on his own, so he's got his mate Jack in with him, right, this little monkey. And, you know, they're having a good time. They share lunch together and stuff like that. Anyway, it gets to a point when the fella whose job it is, right, starts getting old. And Jack, the monkey, starts getting more involved.
Presumably this is a chimpanzee as opposed to a monkey, you mean? When you say
it's,
monkey, it's generic term, you mean chimps usually, don't you?
Yeah.
Go on then.
So, you know, he's clocking the fella doing his job, and he's thinking, I can do this, right, the monkey.
I love it.
He's helping out, he's pulling down the levers and stuff, so the train's sort of coming on the right lines.
Sure. Yeah.
He's clocking it, he sticks his head out the little window, see the trains coming and that,
I hope British Rand are listening.
Yeah.
right? In the end,
Oh, yeah.
the fella whose job it is, he lost a leg for some reason, couldn't work anymore,
Lovely.
gave Jack the job.
Yes.
Okay.
The railway company are happy with that. I'm sure they interviewed a number of people, but he was the best monkey for the job.
And that's good, isn't it?
Well, it's not true.
Right? Once again.
Well, it's not true. Don't hand Steve a piece of paper that someone put on the internet who is probably a bigger mentalist than you. That's not proof. It's not true. At no point did a
Link comes a
railway
different tune
company
when cooking.
give a chimpanzee
Oh, really?
the
Then
job
what in the
of
first one?
signalman.
It was ages ago.
It's similar
what?
then.
Steve, when was it? It was
Before trains, probably.
Well, it's in the 1880s.
Yeah.
According to this piece of
be maybe
paper, which
related
is what
to
you've
what
based your monkey news on. Now, of course, I think ITN and a lot of the news channels, they tend to get lots of independent confirmation
Oh, really?
of their
That's
news
awesome.
before they give it out as fact. But you've got an email from someone, so let's assume that's real. It says, for this, Jack was officially put on the railway payroll, earning 2 cents per day and have half a bottle of beer on Saturday. That's what we pay you, isn't it?
He doesn't even get the beer. Oh, dear, he's not allowed to drink, are you?
Someone emailed in actually and said, Carl, some years ago, did you die? And they took your face and transplanted it onto that of a chimpanzee. It would make a lot of sense.
I've never seen you. He always has t-shirts right done up and long sleeve. I bet he's hairy under there. Yeah. I bet you are hairy because you have to shave right up to your eyes. You're one of them, aren't you? And I can see the growth, and it comes out the top there. Are you really hairy underneath?
Pretty hairy.
Are you really?
Well, what's up with that?
You're a humanzee, aren't you? That's why you're fascinated with them, and why your IQ is sort of about 80. I think you might be. Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news. Carl Pilkington.
Brilliant. Nice to have I read that for a couple of weeks.
Go on then.
Alright, so, is that this little monkey?
Oh, yeah.
He lives in Morocco.
Right, I'll just warn you now, you're on thin ice from last time, okay? So, make sure, is this real?
It's been
Don't say anything
emailed in.
stupid, think about it. As you're saying it, think to yourself, oh, is that true? Do monkeys do that? Do they think like that? So, go on then.
So anyway, yeah, so there's this magician in Morocco, right? He's got a little monkey working with him, right? The way it used to work, magician used to do his thing on stage, do a little bit of magic, people loved it. Then the monkey came out, had a little cap, walked around the crowd and stuff, got the money, had a good little team thing going on, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, the monkey's name was 86.
Right.
Because back then there was so many monkeys, it was like, oh, what names? Do you know what I mean? What names do
not
you
enough
use? What do you
names,
do? So
yeah.
they just
Like,
named them, right? So this little monkey.
What, he had 86 other monkeys? What?
No. It's just that because a lot of monkeys were sort of working back then, helping magicians out, you know, doing bits and pieces, busking, what have you. Just
Well,
get in
Rick,
there.
you know how there's so
Well, why
many...
would there be a confusion with that? If he only had one monkey, where's the confusion? People would go, oh, I'm not going to go and see that. I want to see 86. He's the better monkey. Do you know what I mean? What does it matter?
I don't know what you mean.
Well, why do they need... where was the confusion? With people going to the circus and going, what monkey are you going to go see tonight? I don't know. It wasn't a billing, was it, with a monkey?
But Rick, it's just the same with humans. You know, there's so many humans now that we can't give them names anymore.
Yeah,
They all have to have
exactly.
numbers.
Exactly, yeah, there's so many humans, you know, with 5 billion people, we can't give them names, it's
Yeah.
impossible. But, you know, with a few monkeys
Anyway, number
working...
122, go on.
So anyway, there he is,
86.
86,
With his hat.
with his hat, walking around getting the money.
Yeah.
Anyway, the magician sort of, you know, thinking about moving on. Because in Morocco he'd sort of done all the tourist traps.
Sure.
So he had a word with the monkey, said, how about we...
See?
No, let him continue.
Think.
Let him
He
continue.
didn't have a word with the monkey.
Let him continue.
So what do you think about going over to Spain?
Yes. Sure. So, the monkey was in agreement?
So he said, alright, go on then. Right, so they get in the car, and, like, the magician knew he'd have a bit of a problem on his hands, because you're not meant to take monkeys out of the country.
Yeah.
Right? So he thought, right, what I'll do, I'll get a car, right?
Right.
Stick the monkey in a boot, right? Get on the boat, and hopefully sort of, you know, stick it in some luggage and what have you.
Yeah.
We'll be over there, we'll be earning big money, everything's going to be great. So the monkey was like, brilliant. So they get in the car, they're on the way to the boat, and pull over at a petrol station. And just before filling it up, he opens up the boot and he goes, "You all right in there?" And it's like, "Yeah, it's sound." So he leaves the boot open so it can breathe and get a bit of fresh air whilst he's filling up. Goes in to pay the money.
Yeah.
Pays the money. Goes, "I'm just paying for the."
Right, this monkey is not going to drive away in that car, or we're never doing this feature again.
Carl, what happens? What's number 86 up to?
So,
Thank you.
so
That's the ending, isn't it? That's the story.
Come on, let Carl
Right,
finish
it's
the
not
story.
gonna be, it better not
brilliant,
be.
brilliant. You're gonna love it. Right, so
that's
he's in the
alright.
petrol station, and he's going, right, I'll pay for pump 4.
I'm gonna do that.
And the fella says, what are you saying about
Pump
pump 4?
4, isn't that a monkey?
the
No,
answer.
sometimes I use numbers for monkeys, sometimes I use... No, I mean pump 4.
Sure.
So he says, what are you talking about? There's no car at pump 4.
Right.
Keep going.
You.
Sticks his head out of the door.
Yeah.
The monkey's given it some. Went over to Spain on its own.
Yeah. Actually, hold it for ransom, Mike.
Well, hang on, let's just get a couple of the facts right here.
Right, what do you mean couple of the facts, right? There are no facts.
So,
It
number
didn't-
86. Number
Number
86
86 in a month.
He drove to Spain.
You are... honestly, Carl, you must know.
It was an automatic.
Right. Carl,
did he- how
you
did
must know that is shit. There is no way a monkey...
Mad, innit? That's the thing with
He
this
gets
picture, though.
stopped at customs.
Mental.
How would he get through customs, Carl? Has he got a passport?
No, he was sneaking about because he didn't have a passport.
So he parked and then snuck through.
Do you want the facts?
Let me see it. Right, I'll examine this, Rick, and we'll play a record.
Play a
and,
record,
I'll
because I
look at the
can't...
facts
That's nearly as bad as the armed robbery.
It's shit.
Yeah, go on. Play a record.
Because we've covered so much in the monkey world, right? The fact that we've done a monkey that was a sort of half man, we've done a monkey that got a decent job in a train station.
Oh, it's
Can
there.
you think of any of the other?
Well, that's just some of the great monkey news from the past.
That's what I mean. So that's what you got to compete with. So even though this is quite amazing,
Just tell us.
another monkey's got married.
Oh, not another monkey getting married.
Another one's got
He's got
married.
another one. You know, it was knocking about with some woman monkey for a bit.
A woman monkey.
They decided to, you know, get married.
Yeah.
They did.
What do you mean they decided to get married?
Was it pressure from her parents?
They had a good do, and
Good too, I love the spread. I love that. Peanut vol-au-vents.
Yeah.
celebrated in a pub, and then they both went off to the cage at night. That's what I mean. Even though that is quite impressive,
But
because
it's not true. Or it's a joke. It's nothing. It's not.
on an Over website, official sort of news website.
2 monkeys have married in Romania.
after a whirlwind romance. Well, that's
After a whirlwind romance.
yeah, a quick one hanging onto the rope.
After a whirlwind romance.
She was in the tyre.
Yeah.
He saw it.
Yeah.
He went, I'll have a go at that. They go, we got to marry her now.
Yeah.
Her parents came and said, did you just shed my
He was in a
daughter's
zoo
tyre?"
knocking one off. She went, I can do that for you.
Yeah. yeah. Guess say the monkey bridegroom was scared by the number of people attending the wedding and refused to get out of his cage.
No.
His bride
Not bloody Hello Magazine again.
No, it wasn't. No, I think it was like last minute nerves.
Right,
like
right,
you
right,
know,
legit,
I'm
yeah,
single
second
now.
thoughts.
It's like you know, it's the big step.
Yeah.
But his bride enjoyed every minute of it. She was loving it.
Yeah,
she
sure,
looked lovely, by the
sure.
way. She looked lovely.
Yeah. Did she look good?
Reports she only appeared to have problems with her veil and dress. Do you see? You know, this is. The guests
I hope they didn't ruin it like Anthea Turner and maybe get sort of sponsorship PG tips or something.
Totally, with strong plum brandy, so they got them drunk as well. So they carried on the celebrations at the pub, and the bride was taken to her new husband's cage at night. I apologise. Play a record.
Come on now.
Oh, chimpanzee that! Monkey news, earlier than usual.
I'll have to save this link now. Monkey news. We've done a lot of stuff, right, on monkeys, and most of it has been
Is bollocks.
no, has been like happy stories.
Oh, is this gonna be like our tune? Our monkey tune. Simon Bates and welcome to our monkey tune.
No, but do you know what I mean? We've done stuff about a monkey that robbed a bank.
Yeah. Why is that happy?
He had a great life after that. Right.
What, Marbella?
Yeah. Right. We did the one who saved someone's handbag in a railway station.
We've had a lovely marriage, couple of marriages.
Couple of marriages.
Couple of monkey marriages.
Yeah, yeah.
There was the one who got a job in a railway station.
Yeah, the hairdresser.
The one who set up a business in Spain.
Yikes.
I don't even remember that one.
remember that one either.
But, I mean, I'm willing to believe that happened. Go on then, Carl.
But anyway, yeah. So today's isn't that happy really. It's about some monkey. I think it was a chimp.
Who's an ape? Go on.
It tried to. I mean, the story sets off at a sort of a weird thing.
Yeah.
It's something about he went to Russia to do some business.
What are you
Oh,
talking
Ken
about,
Burner?
Carl?
Oh.
It jumped past that bit though. It didn't start there.
What? Are you,
Do you know what I mean? It didn't tell you what he was doing. It just said, "There's this monkey went to Russia,
To do some business.
I know.
do some stuff,
I don't know.
bit of
what-
monkey business." And anyway, didn't work out.
So, they were furious. We wanted a surgeon. You send us a monkey.
Anyway, ended up being homeless.
Oh no,
It's always
joking.
taking a turn for the worst.
What? Couldn't even get into a like a tree hostel or anything like that.
That's the problem. And
Ooh,
ended
a
up
rocket.
ended up homeless. Got in with some tramps.
I don't know where to start.
Come on.
Yeah, so he's knocking about with some tramps and stuff. You know, sharing drink and what have you around a little fire.
Awesome.
Broke into
Use the
some
shield.
home.
I will. I'll
Lots
grab
of
the
squatted.
second one
Right,
over
so
here.
He's not
flat.
homeless anymore.
Problem was, yeah, he had a roof over his little area he had.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, this is good. This is, we're having a good time. This is sorting me out.
Yeah.
He had his
He said
mates.
that in Russian, though.
What was he eating?
I don't know. I didn't say.
Awesome.
But they're in this house.
Well, he can
That's
only
sick.
be eating sort of like
Fucking
know,
launches you into
fruit,
the air.
nuts, vegetables.
That's
I
amazing.
mean, they classically sort of don't eat, pork pies and.
But they've got
drink
McDonald's
coffee.
in Moscow now, so
Sure.
you probably tap
Sure.
down on that.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was a bust.
What? I knew this was
There was a bust in the flat that they were squatting in. All the other tramps sort of knew what was going on, legged it, left.
Actually helpful, yeah.
little
It's
chimps
fucking
out there.
sick.
Got arrested. And they thought it was a real fella at first. They were like getting, he's obviously just a scruffy bloke who hasn't had a shave and stuff.
Yeah.
Hasn't shaved
one
his
in
back
reserve.
for a while.
Or his face. His head.
Yeah.
Got him down the station. And the boss was like, what's going on here? We've got a monkey here. He was like, what? Said you arrested the monkey.
Well, so the arresting officers hadn't noticed all the way to the station
that he kept slipping out of the handcuffs and was going for the entire journey. They didn't notice till they got there. What, did they put a hood over his head maybe and just like, you know?
I don't know. I'll give you the, give you the story if you want.
Awesome.
There's the headline.
So good.
What is it? What's the headline, Steve? I don't want to see it, but...
The headline, this is once again from supposedly reputable news organisation Ananova, homeless monkey arrested in Russia.
Did you read on, or did you see the headline and make up that whole story?
It's, most of it is there.
What isn't there? What bit isn't there then?
No, I think you know, Steve can have a look over it, check it out and stuff.
Point out the embellishment for me, Steve, will you?
Well, what it doesn't say is that the police didn't realise it was a monkey.
That's what I was guessing. That's what I was guessing. Really? That they got it back and they said, what you doing? We've got a monkey here. And they go, yeah. Oh, God.
There's some more monkey problems in the week. Have you seen the
God
Alfords
damn it.
advert with monkeys in?
No.
There's a new advert out for Alfords selling bikes and stuff.
Yeah.
Got some monkeys in it. It's caused an uproar.
Why?
People are saying it's, you know, dressing them up in tracksuits and that is,
Taking the mickey out of Manchester.
it's, you know, it's not nice for the animals and that. So there's been loads of
Will they
complaints
get a free
about it.
bike or something, do they, I imagine?
I think they kept the tracksuits.
Yeah. Where's the monkey
I
news?
think I kept the tracks.
It's been a bit quiet, hasn't it? I've been
What, in the
keeping an
last
eye
3 months?
out. Okay, there was something that I found last week about one that was in an old people's home. It escaped from some zoo. It was wandering about. It was enjoying itself, and then when it got to the night time, it was like, oh, what am I going to do? And the first place it came across was like this old people's home.
Yeah.
Went in there. I think it was there for about a week and a half without anyone realising.
No, it
did.
No, so the helpers and the nurses and the social workers and the matrons and all that, they thought, well, Mr. Sanders looks a bit hairy. But I mean, that happens, you know, it comes out your ear and your nose when you get to about 70. And he stooped over, yeah, of course he has. He got bow legs, yeah. And he eats more fruit, of course he does.
Well, that's when they realised.
Why?
Because someone in the kitchen said, hang on a minute, getting through more bananas than we normally
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Right then, so there's this monkey, right, in Canada. It's in a zoo in Toronto, I think it is. His name's
awesome.
Pascal. Right, and
Yeah, the
what
rockets
happened
are
was
fun.
all the
That's
people
great.
in the zoo sort of said, you know, what can we do? Sort of spice the day up a bit. Right?
Yeah.
So they left.
Embellishing. No way this is a news
Let him
story.
do the news, let him do the news.
Okay.
So they
Any
left.
dates?
Just let him read the news, alright?
Well,
You wouldn't interrupt Moira
It
Stewart.
was about 2 weeks ago.
No, because she always
Man, I
says
can't wait to see,
today,
like,
so you
what
know
some
it's
of the
news.
speedrunners and that
She
do
doesn't
with
say,
this game.
right,
With
there
all,
was
like,
a monkey, right?
you know, the
in
crazy
Canada,
fusing
right?
and shit you
Okay.
can
You're
do.
right.
A couple of weeks ago in this zoo in Canada,
Right,
they got a camcorder
right.
and they said let's leave it for the monkey to have a play with, right? So anyway, they passed it around,
Won a BAFTA.
and a couple of chimps and that were rubbish at it. They were like filming the floor and all that, and the fingers were always in shot and stuff like that, right? But anyway, there was this one chimp called Pascal, right, who
Annoys me that he calls them monkeys, though.
He
They're
was-
not monkeys, they're apes.
he
Go
was
on.
he was a dab hand at it, right? He was like filming stuff, really good shots, you know, sort of nice mood and that. He used the lighting properly and all the rest of it.
No, he didn't.
This is the news. What are you talking about? This is the news.
Oh,
So
Steve,
anyway.
it's so annoying. You know it annoys me so much. Things like that. He was a dab hander. He was doing really good shots. It really annoys me.
Let's hear the news.
Anyway, right, so he started, at night, like when the zookeepers went home, he started filming, like, other monkeys on the go, like, whilst they were at it, right? And he was filming them and what have you.
The Ron Jeremy of
I
the
love
zoo.
it. You know it's going to end up on the web.
So anyway, the zookeepers came in the next day and it's like, let's see what shots he's got. Anyway, he's got all this, like, you know, all these monkeys at it and what have you. So,
Oh, yeah, this is, honestly, you don't know what this is doing to me, Steve. Can I stop him now?
So they thought, like, actually there's a few monkeys who who aren't at it enough. Do you know what I mean? They have problems or what have you, so let's give them the videos.
That is so untrue. This is so untrue. It's so untrue that it was filmed by a monkey.
So
it's
what
so
happened then,
untrue.
right?
Rick, I don't know who to believe.
Oh God, you're talking so much shit again. You must know that's not true. There's no way.
There's a load of tapes out.
Look at me. Look at me. Don't keep talking. Look at me. You must know that's not true.
Can we just hear the end of this news?
You had a go at me last week because I didn't have the full story. I've got the full story. You're still not happy.
There is no way that by chance, what should we do? Let's give him a camcorder. That could happen. He then films him at it. That might happen. It might happen, but I don't think he'd keep the camera still. Two, they go, hold on, no, yeah, this is good stuff. This is good shit. This porn's good shit.
Anyway,
Look at that. He's got a lovely shot. Yeah. So this is ridiculous.
Let me just recap, because I lost my way there. So the monkey has filmed the monkey porn, and now they're showing it to the other monkeys.
Is he directing? Could you hear him saying stuff? Could you hear him go...
It's just like, you know, Chimp Pimp 1, 2 and 3 and all the rest of it, right? But anyway, so they've got all these other tapes, because what happened was, they said he's quite good at this. And the animals are happy having him around because he's not a human, he's just one of the gang, do you know what I mean? So they started putting him in with other things like, you know, ostriches.
Right.
And
shit.
There was and you know they have a problem with pandas in Japan. So they've sent him out there, filming a bit of. Where are you going?
Honestly, you really annoy me. There's no way this is happening. It's
just hear the end?
Why can't he just find a real story about a monkey?
Let's hear the end.
The end is really that he's got a channel. He's filming the pandas and whatever.
No, he's not. They wouldn't send him to the director. They would not send him.
He
to the
gets so
director.
angry.
The monkey music is only just started listening to the show. Oh, you poor fool. Monkey News
again,
is
man,
where
I gotta get in
Carl,
the fucking
reports
office tomorrow.
for us all
Although
the
that will
latest
be the
monkey
last time
activity.
I
A
go in
headline or a
until I'm
word
on
or
leave,
someone only
That sounds
overheard
good.
in a pub and then totally embellishes it and makes it ridiculous and impossible. He believes
Oh,
it, though.
GG's, bro.
He believes every word he's saying. Let me say
Thanks
that
for
before you
tuning
hear,
in.
when you
Stopping
hear
by.
this, whatever it is, I haven't heard
I'll
it,
speak to you
twoggle.
later anyway.
Remember,
Later,
Carl
bruv.
totally believes